The entire week is just a build-up to Friday, because Friday night is game time, because Friday night is football night. And now you're a part of the experience with Lane & Associates Friday Night Rivals, presented by My Computer Career. You're only seconds away from tonight's matchup. Broughton takes on Enloe. Get ready for the hits, the big plays, and all the action. This is Friday Night Rivals.
Lane & Associates Friday Night Rivals, presented by My Computer Career, migrating back to Cap 7 territory for the most meaningful regular season game in over a decade. It's the Broughton Capitals battling the undefeated Enloe Eagles. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Raleigh. Patrick Keenis alongside former ECU standout Jay Sohnhalter. And Jay, you're talking about a couple of programs that haven't had winning seasons in well over a decade, yet here they sit, week 7 of the regular season, both without a loss in conference play. They haven't experienced a game like this in quite some time.
Yeah, it's a fun environment, and as you start winning, the games just get bigger and bigger. So a lot of excitement for both these programs. Now they're doing it different ways. Enloe's running the ball a lot, predominantly a running team. Broughton's throwing the ball, but the thing they're both doing well is their defense is both very stout and aggressive.
All right, well, let's take a look at a couple of the stars you can watch on tonight. Let's start for the Broughton Capitals.
Well, Brandon Codgerton, he's a beast at the cornerback position. He's outstanding in coverage. He's got great hands intercepting the ball, but he really does his damage on special teams. Punt returns, kick returns. He's a guy that can do it on defense, but also be a force in special teams. And then on the flip side, Hamilton Moore, the Enloe senior running back, he's outstanding, almost at 1,200 yards already this season, 7.8 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. He's the bell cow for the Enloe offense. He does an outstanding job setting the pace, and he really opens up the play-action game for their offense.
2 weeks ago, we saw Hamilton Moore run for 360 and 6 touchdowns in a big win right here against Sanderson. Well, it's homecoming. Enloe and Broughton had a couple of rising programs in the Cap 7. Aaron Summers has more on their young leadership. Aaron.
Thanks, Patrick. With the recent hires in the past 2 years, both of these programs are going through transitional periods. Broughton head coach Chris Dawson and Enloe head coach Ken Blocker said that they finally feel like this year their teams are getting it, and it's showing up in the win column. But of course, both teams can't get wins here tonight. For Broughton, they will have to score on special teams. They've been doing it all year, and they need to do it again here tonight. And they'll also have to find some way to stop the Enloe run. That Enloe run led by running back Hamilton Moore. He has to have a big game. And the Eagles need to make sure that they play disciplined. Coming up next, it's the kickoff between Broughton at Enloe here on MyRDC.
I'm a student athlete, which means I'm still learning.
I'm still growing.
I'm getting important lessons about perseverance, teamwork,
determination, respect, and dedication through playing sports at my school.
Mom, Dad, Coach, in a few years,
I'll probably forget a lot of the details, but I won't forget the lessons I learned
from the way you act towards my teammates,
coaches, referees, and other fans. What kind of lesson do you want me to learn? I'm watching.
Sportsmanship, together we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
Miller Mott understands motivation. Miller Mott understands goals. Our dental assisting program makes it easier for you to start doing what you love. Kick off your new career education today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
Saltwater Seafood has the freshest seafood in town and the best customer service.
Saltwater has the freshest seafood in town and the best staff.
Saltwater gets their fish fresh every morning.
Hey, Dante.
Check out the catch of the day at saltwaterseafoodnc.com and join our mailing list for weekly specials. Our fresh fish come daily from the North Carolina coast, and we're open every day but Monday.
I love their fresh fish right here at Saltwater.
MyRDC Spotlight on Judge Mathis with My Story.
One of the things I tell folks who are coming out of destructive lifestyles is that they're going to continue to encounter obstacles. I started at McDonald's. I worked full-time and went to school at night. I graduated from law school and passed the bar exam. A few years later, I ran for judge. Success might not come overnight, but it will come.
One of the many people on MyRDC giving us their My Story.
Miller Mott understands support. Miller Mott understands success. Our veterinary technology program gives you the support and education you need to become a veterinary technician. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
There is a vibe on this campus in Raleigh as Enloe plays its biggest regular season game in over a decade. By the way, so is Broughton, a couple of Cap 7 rivals on the rise, and they meet here in Week 7. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter, Aaron Summers down in the field. And let's go to our United States Marine Corps coin toss for tonight's game. The few, the proud, the Marines. Contact your local recruiter today. And you see on your screen, in the green and black, trimmed in yellow, the undefeated Eagles of Enloe. You go back over the course of their last 12 seasons, they have not had a winning campaign. They're about to burst through that banner on homecoming at 6-0 and undefeated, and one of the biggest surprises in high school football in the Triangle here in 2018. They are hyped, they are ready, and they're trying to get to 7-0, Jay.
Well, it's such a huge game, and plus it's homecoming. So anytime you've got a game where the alumni comes back and something's memorable was homecoming, you come out into this ball game jacked up already. But as they've continued to win, the question is, how are you going to handle success? And for 6 games, they've handled it perfectly. But they've got a tough test with Broughton coming in here tonight.
And here come the Enloe Eagles, and awaiting them, the Caps of Broughton. And they too are having a season they haven't seen in more than 10 years. The last winning campaign for the Capitals, you go back to 2006. What were you doing 12 years ago? They went 8-4, but they're 4-2, 1-0 in the Cap 7. They picked up a conference win last week over Southeast Raleigh. But last year, just a couple of wins. And there's a look at the Renaissance man of the Eagles, Ken Blocker, second-year head coach, along with his brand-new staff. And boy, they have always had the great student support, but in talking with some of the members of their administration before the game, it's been the other fans from this community who, Jay, maybe didn't know that having a season like this was even possible.
Yeah, and the biggest change is the belief. It's what Coach Blocker's instilled. They have had that support, but when you've got players that believe, they start winning, it's contagious, and you can really tell the community out here to support, not just here at game time, but they're tailgating a couple hours before the game. So it's a great crowd here tonight for a big game.
And take a look at the Broughton Capitals. In the last 6 years combined, Broughton has won 9 games. The fact that they are 4-2, they're 1-0 in the Cap 7, and they're right now one of only a couple of unbeaten teams in the Cap 7. That includes Cardinal Gibbons, who right now the smart money is on them to be the favorite to win the Cap 7. Neither team has played them yet. Enloe will get them the final week of the regular season. Broughton will get a shot on the road against Cardinal Gibbons in 2 weeks' time. But what energy there has been building here just off of New Bern Avenue in Raleigh over the last couple of weeks. They've figured out how to win the close games. We saw one of those a couple of weeks ago, knocking off Sanderson. And we are ready now for the Lane & Associates kickoff. We love to make you smile. Brought to you by Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. The approach and the boot from the Eagles, and Broughton will go on offense first. Special teams has been such a big mainstay of their squad this year, and that one was nearly broken. The return out to about the 33-yard line. We'll take a look at the My Computer Career starting lineups. If you're not happy with your current job, in as little as 4 months, you can be starting an information technology career. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation.
They're led by Gordon Guest, the senior quarterback, 3-year starter, headed to Navy to play lacrosse. But he's had a big year so far leading this offense.
Gordon Guest is not big, but he makes the accurate throws, not a major deep ball threat, but he does have some edge receivers that he'll be looking for tonight, including Dabron Belfield. And a first down carry for maybe a couple of yards, and snuffed out by the defense of Enloe. And right on top of it, Justin Braswell. And there's a look at Christian Rory, who's going on to play his college football at Duke. And the My Computer Career starting lineup for the Enloe Eagles. Rory, though, has some help.
Yeah, and he's the highlighted guy, but that whole defensive line, they're big, but they're athletic, strong. The big blocking assignments for this offensive line of Broughton. They play a wide open attack. That offensive line is going to be in one-on-one blocking situations.
Gain of 2 on first down. They try to screen it out. Is it a lateral and incomplete pass? It's an incomplete pass signaled by our referee tonight, Battle Whitley. There's Rory holding the football. They're trying to screen it out to Ryan Strickland, who's a tight end, big target, might have been deflected a bit.
Yeah, and Rory, you've got to block him and figure out ways to slow him down there, but he's got such a big frame, 6'5", 265 pounds with those long arms.
So 46 seconds into the ball game, a big third down and long situation for the Broughton Capitals. They need 8. Gordon Guest, he's thrown for 9 touchdowns, including 4 last week in a win against Southeast Raleigh. And he will throw on 3rd and 8, fires across the middle. It's off of the fingertips, incomplete, right at the sticks. And the Enloe defense, which has been their staple this year, gets a 3rd down stop. Belfield unable to bring it in.
And they've got trust that the defensive line can get to Guest there. Not too much pressure, but they fell back into coverage in secondary. That's Perez in the middle there, blanketing the receiver. And this defense getting off the field early in this ball game. A big stop there on the first drive.
And Brandon Miranda on the booted away for Broughton. And it's a spinning kick that the Eagles will let land at the 35. Takes a very nice capital roll, and they'll pick up another 18 yards on the roll. And touchdown inside the 15-yard line. Well, we talked about the Eagle defense. The Broughton defense has been very stout as well. As you get a look at the Enloe quarterback, Jaden Wortham. Wortham will not throw often as we take a look at the starting defense for Broughton, brought to you by My Computer Career.
Led by Brandon Codrington. He's a star player in the secondary and does on special teams. You may see him on offense tonight as well, Patrick, but on defense, he blankets his wide receivers. Got great speed, but the biggest thing with him is his technique is really sound.
So this drive will begin at the 18-yard line for Enloe. And we'll keep our eyes focused on number 1 out of the backfield. And there is his first carry of the evening. That is Hamilton Moore. And if you're not aware of who Hamilton Moore is, as we look at the My Computer Career starting offense for Enloe, Hamilton Moore is rushed for just under 1,200 yards in 6 games, 14 touchdowns. He's going to play linebacker at Yale next year. The last time we saw him 2 weeks ago against Sanderson, 360-plus yards on the ground, and all 6 Enloe scores.
And they may want to play him at running back next year, too, the way he's been playing this year.
Gain of 4 on first down. And a second down carry around the left side, picking his way, Christopher O'Neill, who's a very competent tailback as well. Dropped immediately by Broughton's Brandon Codrington. There he is, number 23. Very strong, incredibly athletic. Just doesn't have the size, but he has everything else.
And he's getting a lot of interest from colleges and a lot of people keeping an eye on him this season as he begins to show his game film. They've really been impressed by him. And it's not only the coverage, but just like you saw there, getting in the box and being physical, coming down. He doesn't miss tackles. He's a big force on that defense.
And talking with their head coach, Chris Dawson, before the game, he is not shy in saying out of their first 6 games, he has been the best player on the field on either side. And here is a big run by Hamilton Moore. That will be enough for our first down of the game. Needed 4, picked up 7. And the Blue Cross Blue Shield first down, courtesy of Hamilton Moore. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina.
And on that left side, the offensive line, Raheem McMillan and Josh Satterwhite. The box was loaded by the Capitals. They brought everybody, but they somehow found a way to clear a path. And Moore, so patient in his running style, found the hole.
He knows that the football just outside of the 30-yard line. First down for Enloe. 6-0, 2-0 in the Cap 7. Broughton at 4-2. And this is Moore trying the left side. Takes a hit around the shoulder, spins forward just outside the tackles. And Moore will pick up 4, maybe 5.
This is going to be a game of physicality for Broughton. They've got all 11 guys in the box. Codrington was playing the deepest, and he was at about 8 yards. So they're committing to sell out on the run in Enloe. They've got a big task up front blocking all these Capitals. And Patrick, at some point, they're going to want to open up the play-action passing attack and take a shot downfield to loosen up this defense.
Now, this is an Eagle offense, though. They don't throw often. 6 games. And starting quarterback Jaden Wortham, the junior, has thrown only 45 times, so maybe 8-9 times a game. Hand off to the fullback, room up the middle, and look at him driving with the lower body. Carries 3 defenders past the sticks, and that'll be a very physical and bruising first down for Enloe.
Well, and right up the middle here, and this Enloe offense, it just seems like they get more and more momentum as they run the ball, and it seems like they get more enthusiasm too as they get their drive blocks done up front. You can see there the middle of the offensive line just clearing the path to get the first down.
There's Tyree Watson, number 40, oft-used fullback. Generally is out there to open up some holes for Hamilton Moore and company. Now, we saw Jaden Wortham a couple of weeks ago, and really his role is just to function as a guy who gets the plays in, makes clean exchanges. They don't often put a lot of strain on him to complete passes downfield. And we get an early timeout taken by Enloe. So we will take an early timeout in the opening quarter. The Enloe defense got a stand, a 3 and out. And now the offense on the move, courtesy Hamilton Moore. 7:47 left, opening quarter. A Cap 7 battle from Broughton. Scoreless.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
My computer career, they said, forget about the degree. Let's get down to the meat and potatoes of IT, and let's get those certifications, the things that employers are looking for. With my computer career and getting these certifications through here, you have that opportunity for advancements to much higher pay. Yes, my computer career does live up to that training for a better life.
Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu. Hit the Better Life button now for your new beginning as an IT professional.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Back on the campus of Enloe High School in a key Cap 7 contest. Broughton and Enloe scoreless. And let's go downstairs and welcome back in the third member of our broadcast crew, Aaron Summers. Hello, Aaron.
Hi, I'm here with Sergeant Peterson. Sergeant Peterson, what would be someone's first step if they were interested in joining the Marine Corps?
The first step would be reach out to your local Marine recruiter, either by phone or email, or going to marines.com to request more information.
And as a recruiter, what is your involvement in the community?
We do a lot of leadership training, a lot of physical fitness activities, as well as finding those qualified individuals to enlist into the Marine Corps.
Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot, Aaron. And you saw there on that first out carry by Hamilton Moore, changing directions, shifty in the backfield, patient, and looking for the slightest of holes.
Chris O'Neal, Tyree Watson, the fullbacks there, leading the way up front, and he's so good at being patient and waiting for things to develop, and then when he sees a crease, he hits it hard there, and that's where you have to have patience and really excellent burst as a running back. Moore has both those qualities.
That joystick run good for 7 for Moore. Second and short, just shy of midfield for Enloe. And a little broken play, but look at Wortham breaking away nearly, and Wortham carries the defender inside the 35-yard line, dragging Creeshawn Creek with him. It looked like there was a mix-up in the backfield. It looked like Wortham turned and expected to hand the ball off.
Yeah, and Watson that's where the miscommunication was. But Wortham, that's why he's so dangerous, because many times you'll see a miscommunication happen, and then bad things happen. But there, Wortham turned something bad potentially into a big play.
Down to the 33-yard line. So we've seen a steady dose of Hamilton Moore. Wortham once, O'Neal once. A plethora of backs. Tyree Watson, the fullback. Handoff, this is O'Neal. Trying the left side, bangs off the body, maintains his footing, and falls forward to about the 26-yard line. And that'll be good for about 8 yards.
And I'll tell you what, this Broughton defense, when they're loading the box, they're trying to plug up all of the lanes. But if somehow Enloe can get past that first wave, there are no secondary help support defenders back there. So there's some big plays, opportunities out there for the Eagles offense if they can get their blocks up front and get it to the second level.
So called a gain of about 7. So second and a long 3 for Enloe. We've seen Enloe's offensive pace a lot quicker than what we've seen in this opening drive tonight. Wortham hands off, little inside handoff, and snuffed out by the Capital defense. And no gain right there for Tyree Watson.
Well, on the interior the defense. That's where it's going to be so key. This defensive line has to get penetration in the backfield. Michael Lawrence, a senior defensive tackle there, getting penetration, blowing things up.
So that sets up the second third down on this drive for the Enloe Eagles. Third and about 4. And again, after every play, Jaden Wortham is heading over to his sideline to get the play call and then jogs back out. So a very patient opening drive for Enloe. 3rd and 4. Full house backfield. This is Moore speeding around the left edge. The penalty marker sails in. And that would be very close to the marker, but we'll see what the flag is on 3rd and 4. It's in the vicinity of a hold. And that's what Battle Whitley, our referee, indicates.
Well, here running off the left side. We'll see if we can see the hold right there in the middle. As Roderick White, the officials saw the hold. But I'll tell you, they're loading up this backfield, Patrick, and they've got 2 fullbacks in there. It's going to be fun to watch kind of the battle between those fullbacks and the linebackers coming downhill against each other to see who wins that.
So back them up by 10 yards, 3rd and 14 from 3rd and 4. Line of reach is the 23-yard line for Enloe. And out of the gun, Wortham. He will toss it out down the right side and sliding into it, the Capitals with the interception. The pick by Brandon Miranda. So the interception on 3rd and 14, and Q Robinson, the cornerback, intercepts the pass from Wortham and denies the drive after that 3rd down penalty.
And here, no play action fake with it being 3rd and long. Wortham just kind of threw it up there in the Broughton secondary. They were playing in the box, but on this play, they fell back in normal coverage. Did a good job tracking that ball down. You know, they kind of got out physical there on that first drive, but all that matters is getting off the field, and they bent, but they didn't break.
So Robinson with the interception, and the drive now 2nd of the night for Broughton. Starts at the 10-yard line. Oh, loose snap, covered up and thrown away right at the feet of the intended receiver down the right side, Joachim Clark. But Gordon Guest, good coordination to handle that high snap nearly over his head.
Yeah, that's not fun seeing Rory running straight at you when the ball's a little bit high. Guest, a good job salvaging that play and getting rid of it. I'll tell you this, Broughton offense backed up right now. They want to throw the ball, but they have to find some balance in the running game to help them out, especially against a stout Enloe defense that's so good against the run.
2nd and 10 for Gordon Guest and the Capitals. Shotgun snap. Guest rolling right. Throws to the sideline. Sliding catch is made outside the numbers. Reception to Davis Clemens.
Chris Dawson, the head coach, also the offensive coordinator. Great job here getting Guest out of the pocket. Design play call to get him away from the pass rush. And moving the chains to get the 1st down.
So out to the 20-yard line, 1st down. 1st of the night for Broughton. Guest unloads down the middle. One-on-one coverage and just beyond the reach of Belfield. 2nd down. We'll see a lot of Belfield. We'll see a lot of Joachim Clark. Those are the 2 deep threats on the edges for the Capitals.
Oh, and there, Perez coming in, hitting Guest at the last minute, but that one-on-one opportunity, that's one. You find the mismatch, you find the opportunity out wide, and you take those shots down the field, and you hope you continue to get another opportunity there. Guest just thrown a little bit too long there out of the reach.
2nd and 10, but get used to this offense tonight by the Capitals. This is their game. Spread offense and a lot of options. Quick pass, grab, little one-on-one move, gets past one defender and stretching almost to the 1st down marker. It'll be 9, maybe 10. Joachim Clark, the intended recipient on the previous pass, grabs his 1st reception of the night.
He's a big target, 6'2". Good agility there, and so important after you catch the ball to get yards after the catch, make somebody miss. See how elusive he is with the ball in his hands.
So they mark him about a half-yard short, so it's 3rd down. And Ryan Strickland joining Guest in the backfield. 4:15 holding in this first quarter. And the officials maybe eyeing the spot. The down indicator says third down, and that's verified now by Battle Whitley. We saw a situation last week on a 4th and 2 where they brought the sticks out. Here it's third, about 8 inches. They left the sticks in the sideline. Little movement on the defensive line by Enloe. Guest in the pistol. Strickland behind him. And the carry. And gets through and takes a big hit just past the line of scrimmage. Took the hit, held onto the football, and should be good for a first down. Boy, Ryan Strickland took a heavy shot one-on-one just past that right tackle area.
Look at the physical play right there. Nice block hitting Perez out of there. But then the shot right at the down marker, and Strickland, physical enough to go in against Justin Braswell right there. That was a huge first down conversion.
So out of the 33-yard line, penalty marker is dropped on the far sideline. Another Blue Cross Blue Shield first down as offsides indicated against the Enloe defense. Enloe is 6-0. They've not won 6 games in a year in a decade. They went 6-6 in 2008. They have gained the attention and respect of everybody throughout the triangle. And this is really a game for them. Can they prove they are for real? Because week by week, more people are jumping onto the Enloe Eagles bandwagon. Ken Blocker and his staff is treating this one game at a time. 1st and 5 after the penalty against Enloe. Gordon Guest with a man in motion, little jet sweep, handoff, and nowhere to go. Ripped down for a loss. Chasing it down, Matt Perez, number 55, read that play like a book. And it's now 2nd down and about 8, a loss of 3.
Well, we mentioned Perez's name already a couple of times, but look at him just diagnose this play, blow up the block, and then get into the backfield. You've got to be aggressive, but as a linebacker, you've got to read it and then attack. And Perez, nice job there.
Well, the ball carrier on that play, Brandon Codrington. We'll give you some anecdotal backup evidence on that play after this long pass play down the right side. One-on-one coverage and defended well by Enloe's Daquan Rogers on coverage. Denying Joachim Clark. Brings up 3rd down and long. Let's go back to the Codrington jet sweep. We talked with Chris Dawson on the field about a half hour before kickoff. He wants to get Codrington on the field as the lights go down. One light bank, if not 2, has gone dark on the Broughton side of the field around the 10-yard line. So play is going to be halted here. There's the culprit. But Codrington on that jet sweep playing offense for the first time this season. Chris Dawson saying you're going to see a couple of my top defensive guys. We don't have many plays for them, but they're going to get some looks on offense tonight because he wants the ball in their hands as often as they can. And as we have this light issue here on Enloe's homecoming night, take a timeout. 2:52 left opening quarter. Broughton and Enloe scoreless in Raleigh.
Proudly representing the community for years, Oxner Permar is now proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete of the Week for MyRDC's Friday Night Rivals. Every Friday night, Oxner Permar will shine a light on an exceptional scholar athlete who inspires us all to do the right thing, just as we strive to make wrongs right every day at Oxner Permar. Plus, at the end of the season, one of these All-Stars will receive a $5,000 scholarship provided by Oxner Permar. Oxner Permar, we make wrongs right.
I'm at Saltwater Seafood, best seafood place in town. I'm telling you, the best service. The people here are excellent. They treat you like family, and they got the best fresh fish, and it's so good. And not only can you buy fresh fish, you get it fried in the shack. They fried it seasoned to a T. I come in here all the time. I don't ever go nowhere else but here. I'm telling you, best place in Raleigh. You hear me? You better come on down and get you some fish. I love it.
Come see us.
A little premature darkness here at Enloe High School on homecoming. 2:52 left opening quarter. That light bank just went down about a minute and a half ago. Let's go downstairs to Aaron Summers, who has an update. Aaron, were you by the switch?
I
I'm not responsible, did not have a hand on the switch, but I did talk to the refs right here in the break, and the head ref said that if the lights didn't come back on, it would be an issue because it's very dark on that end of the field, and they're concerned about the players' safety. The lights are starting to come back on, but these big banks, they take a while to warm back up, so we'll have to keep an eye on it, and the refs are aware of the situation, keeping on it as well.
All right, Aaron keeping us abreast of the lighting issues, so we'll have an indeterminate amount of time to fill here, Jay, and I've seen this happen in the professional baseball ranks several times. I don't know how these lights, I don't know if they're the same categories of lights they may use in minor league ballparks, but generally speaking, if there's a light issue, they may need 10 or 15 minutes for that entire light bank to cool down before they flip it back on. But the fact that already a couple of bulbs have popped on, they may not be out of the same cloth, but still a delay.
We got a good sign. We got 2 out of about 10 on, so hopefully this will be a quick progress. But I'll tell you what, in these opportunities for both of these squads here with a timeout break here, it's kind of a chance to go over the sideline, figure out what you're doing well so far, figure out what's not going well, make some in-game adjustments, kind of like a mini halftime break here. So both sides, they've had some success, but also too, whenever you kind of feel out the other team in the game, it's a lot different from watching film during the week and seeing what they're doing. When you're in a game-like situation, you come off here, now you can really make those big in-game adjustments.
Yeah, and that's what Ken Blocker, head coach for Enloe, and Chris Dawson, the head coach for Broughton, are doing now. And everybody needs to help fill in when they have a situation that's unexpected like this. So even the band directors are scrambling a bit, saying, hey, what can we play here real fast, as we have a little bit of a delay on this homecoming night. And to get a look at the coaching staff underneath Chris Dawson of Broughton, they come in 4-2. Dawson's third year. He's an alumnus. There you see Dawson right in the middle of the screen talking with Battle Whitley. But this is a destination job that Dawson told us before the game. He played at Broughton. He's an all-conference, all academic Cap 7 player when he was at Broughton several years ago, and he had not really been looking for a head job, but he said, I kept my eye on this one if it ever opened up. He loves the area and really is drawn to his school.
He said he always wanted to come back, and even when he left Broughton, that was something he'd always want to do, and for him the opportunity came open. And this third year of his tenure has really turned out to be one of those years that the first couple years you're kind of setting the foundation of the program. Now the fruits of his labor starting to pay off, and this team is talented, but you can really tell the discipline they're playing with and the system they want instilled is starting to show out on the field by their play.
Ken Blocker chatting with his team, and he's unhappy right now, and he's got a little bit of a break as a whole team assembled around him right now. 2:52 left in the opening quarter, and we are scoreless. So as we wait for 10 other bulbs to pop on, we have a light delay. So what we'll do right now is each week during halftime, we'll do it a little bit early tonight during our Friday Night Rivals broadcast. MyRDC will be showcasing outstanding Thursday night lights and Friday Night Rival game highlights from across the country. So here are some of those great highlights from last week's action. Later, played for several teams, 3 Pro Bowls. Miller dodging some traffic, gets a block, spins away somehow again. And now he'll heave it down the left side. Has a man wide open, and the reception is made to the 10-yard line, and Craig Kroom hauls it in.
Any local fans. Handoff goes up the middle again. The ball comes out of the play. Johnstown's defense making a big play. Scoop and score for Tyleek Shirey.
At the 6A level this year, W&J College first down. And here is a big run by Meckler into the open field. Meckler turning on the Jets. He goes. Touchdown.
Tinfuse got it. Adolfo. They want it all. Pass is complete. Great adjustment on the ball right there. Rowan Ray to the end zone.
Right back around, a little hitch and go, and then he's able to make the defender miss.
It's just been bonkers. Out of control a little bit. Prusha has it picked off by Caden McCormick, and McCormick, he's going to try to return it. McCormick to the 20, to the 15, 10. Caden McCormick returns the interception in for the score with 2 seconds on the clock.
Some great moments from last week all across the country. Aaron Summers has an update on the lighting issue, and Aaron, we have a plan in place.
The lights have not come back on, but the refs have gone to both sides and talked to both head coaches. Broughton head coach Chris Dawson said that he's fine with playing, so they went and talked to Ken Blocker over here on the Enloe side, and he said if Broughton's good, we're good. We want to play. So we'll be starting up the game here in a few minutes.
All right, that's good news, Aaron. And you look at the Enloe defense on the field doing jumping jacks to try and stay loose and stay warm. And over on the sideline for the Broughton Capitals, they're not doing jumping jacks in place. They're dedicated, but I suppose after you get a little bit of a lashing by your head coach during this light issue, you want to show your coach that we were listening and we're all in. So this is very unusual here. We'll see how long they play through. And we were joking during that highlight package, finding out what the plan was going to be. Maybe if both teams, as they cross the 50-yard line toward all the lights, maybe we just go one direction tonight.
And I'll tell you, Patrick, when Enloe has the ball, they're going towards the end zone. You know, the ball is still visible, obviously, or else they wouldn't be playing. But it is going to be adjustment because as a wide receiver, when you're looking up and you don't have the light there to highlight the ball, it's going to be tough to focus on it.
Now that entire light bank has been shut off. We had 2 lights pop on. They were waiting for the other 10. So they've shut it off maybe at the end of the first quarter. Perhaps they try to pop it back on. This is a 3rd down and 9 play. And Guess will throw it over toward the sideline and short hops into the arms of Roderick White on that sideline. Intended for Davis Clemens, but a penalty marker is down across the 45 or the 47-yard line. See if this is maybe defensive holding or pass interference. And it is defensive holding. So a 3rd and 9. Gordon Guest and Broughton gets the call.
Well, in here, Enloe brought the blitz again with Bryce Rogers, number 7. Gordon Guest rolling out. We'll see.
Well, if that's the hold, the ball was by.
And I don't know if it was there where the ball was, but that's a big play call going for Broughton there. And Guest, he looks comfortable rolling out, but you can see how strong his arm is, and it's so tough to kind of crowd your body there. So he's going to have to make sure once he sets his feet, he really does a good job of throwing the ball accurately down the field.
So with another first quarter penalty on Enloe, 1st down for the Caps at the 44-yard line on their side of the field. Guest deploys a man in motion, and a handoff straight up the middle. Strickland hit behind the line, burrows his way forward for about a yard.
Strickland physical, but going into the teeth of that defense. Not a lot of room to run there, but again, we talked about the importance of at least having some semblance of a running game to help you out in your passing attack. This Enloe defense right now, not doing a lot of blitzing. They're plugging up the holes with their front 4 and dropping the other guys into coverage.
4 wide receiver formation for the Caps on 2nd and 9. High snap, little juggle. Guest brings it in, and he'll throw it down the right sideline. A little bit of a hang up around the 45-yard line, trying to get loose. The ball will not get through to Codrington, who again is in his first game of the year playing offense. And Chris Dawson, a minute before the game, they didn't have a whole lot of plays with him involved, but we saw one in the jet sweep and one basically on a straight sprint down the sideline.
Well, and Guest again going to that one-on-one matchup on the outside. Now it's kind of the 3rd time he's thrown the deep ball. You figure at some point he's going to connect, but I like the aggressiveness Broughton's playing with, throwing the ball aerial down the field and doing a good job taking shots.
And now Joe McLam on the defensive line nearly jumped earlier in this first quarter, definitely jumps this time. So instead of 3rd and 9, it's going to be 3rd and 4. McLam heads to the sideline.
These penalties, really starting to add up for Enloe, and you said it there, enabling a 1st down, and now 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable here at 3rd and 4. Good situation for his Broughton offense.
Get out of the pistol. Slightly in motion, Belfield looking to throw a Guest over the middle, juggling, and then knocked out of his hands, incomplete. Justin Braswell jarred the ball loose. It was not brought in cleanly. And that brings up 4th down at the 50-yard line. And we'll see what the Caps elect to do.
Well, Braswell and Bryce Rogers, we'll see him here in zone coverage. Great job coming up, jarring the ball loose and putting the pressure on Belfield there. And it's so tough when you've got a crossing wide receiver and Guest. They're also looking towards the middle of the field, then kind of at the last minute look towards the right. It's hard as a secondary defender to stay in his gap, but a good job there staying at home. And Braswell knocking the ball loose.
So 4th down, 4. And in punt formation, the Caps. And they will boot it away. Light pressure. A good kick will land at about the 15-yard line. Take a sideways bounce. And down near the sideline by Codrington. Man, he is everywhere. So pretty good kick. Long field position now for Enloe. And let's go back to that 3rd and 4 pass play over the middle, because as the receiver was coming across, he's looking back into the area that's now darkened because there's no lights as he looks back to that side of the field. How much of an impact, if any, might that have had?
Well, I think it is going to be an impact, because not only do you have to find the ball, but you've got to look to see where your quarterback is too, because you're running as fast as you can in that last minute. You look up once you kind of get to your point on the field where you're expecting the ball, and even if it's just a hesitation, a slight second where you can't see, it plays a factor.
Well, 1st down, big yardage here up the middle. Hamilton Moore bursting right through. Brought down around the 23-yard line. Was so quick with that first step, and man, he can cut and cut back.
Well, he's one of those guys that gets stronger as the game goes on, and he hasn't broken one of those big ones so far, but we'll see as this Broughton defense starts to go one-on-one with him throughout this game. If they get worn down a little bit, and Moore can break one.
The officials get together. An unsportsmanlike penalty called against Broughton. Didn't see what happened. Really didn't see a flag on the field either, but this will be a big walk-off against the Capitals. And there you see Chris Dawson wants an explanation. It's about an 8-yard pickup on the run by Moore. Tack on 15 thanks to the penalty. And with a minute and a half to go in the opening quarter, that really helps Enloe's chances to at least just flip the field. They call the helmet contact right there. If so, that's Krishan Cheek, number 43. Looked to me like a fairly standard football play. So there is Battle Whitley, 28 years as a sanctioned official in the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Been a referee at a couple of state championships, including several last year in Wake Forest. 1st down from the 38-yard line, and this is Moore protecting the football and dives out to about the 45-yard line, a gain of 7 for Moore.
This Broughton defense, again, their deepest defender, only about 7 yards deep. Moore, they're getting to the 2nd level, but this Broughton defense, they are flowing to the football fast, getting off their blocks. They know how important it is to bring down Moore with not just one guy. We've seen him break so many tackles this season. You've got to come with 2 or 3 defenders to bring him down.
The full house backfield again for Enloe. Tyree Watson, the fullback. And this time it's O'Neal through the left. It's about 3 before driven back. He's very close to the 1st down marker. Looks like forward progress will be enough to the 49. Christopher O'Neal, very capable 2nd back in the backfield for Enloe.
And Moore, star running back, leading the way with the block up front. But Enloe right now doing a good job with that depth at the running back position, keeping their guys fresh, but also kind of using each guy as a decoy, putting pressure on this defense because they don't know who's going to get the ball.
And on 1st down, this is Hamilton Moore, and he's kind of dragged down around the waist right about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard to the 50. In what will probably be the final play of this opening quarter. Broughton and Enloe, they have not faced a game of this magnitude since these players were about 5 years old. But here they are now on homecoming at Enloe. A scoreless draw through the 1st quarter on homecoming at Enloe. Undefeated Enloe, twice beaten Broughton, and they're scoreless through 1. The drive continues for the undefeated Eagles when we return.
My RDC Friday Night Rivals, presented by My Computer Career. Watch each week as the area's best high schools take the field and battle for victory. Pride, determination, and the will to win. Experience it all live. The best matchups every week. My RDC Friday Night Rivals, presented by My Computer Career.
doesn't matter how you do it, just 86 it.
Mike here with Leith Auto Park Honda and Cary, home of the Auto Park for Life promise, where you'll get free oil changes, loaner cars, and more with every new Honda purchase. We don't play any games or gimmicks because of our amazing staff, our huge inventory, and great selection keeps our customers happy. And Leith Peace of Mind pricing keeps them coming back. So come by our showroom located in Cary Auto Park today and drive away happy. Leith Auto Park Honda. It's easier here.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Second quarter begins. Enloe and Broughton battling the cap 7. Patrick Enos, Jay Sonhalter, and Aaron Summers down to the sideline. And the Broughton Capitals defending at midfield. This is second and about 9 for the Enloe Eagles. Rolling out Wortham. Long pass looking for Burry. He'll make the catch inside the 30-yard line. We don't see that very often. Christian Rory, the Duke recruit, on offense as the tight end is releasing and nobody picks him up.
Oh, and just great play action by Wortham, and then the catch by Rory over the shoulder. Then the physical contact there on the tackle by Codrington. But the big tight end playing both ways, showing off his hands.
That will cover 29 yards. And a blue cross, blue shield, first down. Hamilton Moore on the right side, tripped up just as he took it to another gear. He is close to breaking through. And 2 big plays to open up the second quarter. And now that Enloe offense that we've seen very good over the course of this season is closing in.
You know, it was curious when Enloe was going to take that shot, because it's getting to the point where they just kind of wanted to see how tough their team could be, just continuing to run the ball in between the tackles. But you knew at some point they were going to go to the play action pass, and on that big passing play, this Broughton defense only 5 yards deep, so you knew they were going to do it at some point, and a great time there with the play action with the big play.
Second down, penalty marker comes down just as Enloe gets into the Wake 86 at green zone. Wake County 86 in green zone, help keep Wake County litter free at 86er trash. They will mark this one off against the Broughton Capitals. A little more than a minute gone by, second quarter, no score. First and goal now for Enloe inside the 10. Wortham, quick handoff, contact, and look at the jersey being stretched back, holding on for dear life in the backfield. A couple of defenders for Broughton slowing down Tyree Watson.
And again, right up the middle, Michael Lawrence, number 67. You see him shoot the gap there and then bringing him down. He's the best defensive tackle, leading the D-line in tackles. And it's all because of that first step quickness, getting off the ball, then that low center of gravity, using your hands and getting back there.
Fistful of jersey for Lorenz. That's my 0, he said. You're going nowhere. Timeout on the field, 10:26 left until halftime. Broughton and Enloe scoreless, but Enloe in the green zone when we return.
My computer career, they said, forget about the degree. Let's get down to the meat and potatoes of IT, and let's get those certifications, the things that employers are looking for. With my computer career and getting these certifications through here, you have that opportunity for advancements to much higher pay. Yes, my computer career does live up to that training for a better life.
Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu. Hit the Better Life button now for your new beginning as an IT professional.
I fight for every step I take. I want you to come play for me. This is your way out.
All American. New series Wednesday, October 10th.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. I'm joined by Reggie Jackson. He's a sales manager at Hendrick Buick GMC Cadillac. Now, how many dealerships do you have in this area?
In this area, we have 3 local dealerships in the Cary Auto Mall. Also, too, we do have several others surrounding the area here.
How does this philosophy at your dealership join the philosophy that is here in high school sports?
The biggest thing is working together. You have to have teamwork, work together to build one strong team organization.
As a halftime sponsor of Friday Night Rivals, what do you hope to gain out of being the sponsor?
One of the things is watching the high school students participate in sports and everything and becoming to learn how to work together as a team.
Reggie's a pretty nice guy. He said if you go see him, he will give you $500 off of your next purchase.
Thank you.
October.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson. Big stop in the loss in the backfield by Q2 of Broughton. Brings up now a 3rd and goal for Enloe. Scoreless game, couple of minutes gone by, second quarter. And they are back at about the 14-yard line, 3rd and goal. Wortham on a design run, slipped as he tried to turn upfield. Did have a hole around the end, but tripped himself. That would have been a pretty big play. Brings up 4th down now for the Eagles.
And it looked like he was rolling out, but you could see that was a quarterback designed run. And when he did slip, there was a lot of room there. Now Enloe coming out with the field goal unit here on 4th down.
All right, so counting the players on the field. The place kicker for Enloe. It's Laith Marjan. 2 out of 4 with a long of 38 this year. It'll come out of the hole of his quarterback, Jaden Wortham. Rory is also on the field, blocking over the right side of the offensive line. This will be from 34. Has plenty of leg, and it is pulled. No good. If accurate, that would have been good from 45. But strong hook. Wide left.
And this Broughton defense, a big win, getting off the field there, no points. See the ball here. It's hooked over towards the left. He's got the range there, and that's one of those things where you just kind of want to redirect it there. Pulled it a little bit too hard, kick it towards the left. Center it out next time, but plenty of distance.
All right, stay tuned for the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report. We'll have this week's Oxner-Pyrmont Scholar athletes, participating school interviews with the principals, highlights from around the country, and more. Find new roads today at HendrickChevrolet.com. So the missed field goal keeps it a scoreless game. 8:45 left until halftime. Broughton back on offense. And in motion, fake by Guest, tosses to the left. Reception with a couple of blockers. And out across the 35 to about the 41-yard line. Nice first down pickup by Broughton. It's KJ Haywood, one of the top receivers on this Broughton offense.
And Haywood, the senior wide receiver, the ball looking like it was going towards the right, then Guest coming back towards the left. Seeing wait as the offensive lineman pulled there, set up downfield. That's the first time Broughton's run a screen there. I would look for them to go back to that play.
The 35-yard line, first down, shotgun snap to Guest. He'll heave it down the right seam. Jump ball poked away beautifully by Enloe's Daquan Rogers. Right out of the hands of Joachim Clark. It was a well-thrown ball by Guest, but punched out of there.
Those two guys have been going against each other all night. A nice long throw. Then right at the last minute, Rogers got his hand in there. That was laid out just a little bit more. Clark, he could have caught that and gone the distance because he did beat Rogers on the go route.
Beautiful play by Rogers. Reached in with the only hand possible, his left. They screen it out of the backfield. Strickland over the shoulder catch. Tap dances up the sideline, but stepped out on the boundary at around the 40. So that will bring up 3rd and 4.5 coming up for the Capitals. Strickland didn't feel like he stepped out, but the official clearly saw it.
Well, this Broughton offense, good job with their play calls here. The first play of this drive, the screen towards the left, then they took the shot down the field on the right side, then coming back to a running back screen to Strickland. Putting a lot of different play calls in the mind of this Eagles defense, trying to keep them off balance.
Well, that's a tough one on Strickland. That's really on him. There was no defender out there. He just lost awareness of where he was against the boundary. Flags come in on 3rd and 5 just as Gordon Guest got the snap. False start on Broughton. And certainly it changed the play for this high-powered spread offense from Chris Dawson. He said this is an offense that he played as a kid, played in high school, played in college, and as the offensive coordinator, he felt like this would work well with the pieces he has here in this Capital offense.
He's got a lot of good wide receivers, a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field, somebody that he trusts. And with this offense, there's a lot of big play opportunities at your disposal.
3rd down play, 10 yards to go. 3 receivers across the formation. Guess rolling to the right. Time to throw to the sideline and off of the arms of Daquan Rogers of Enloe. The intended receiver, Clemens, went a little bit deeper before he broke to the sideline. Rogers stayed on the inside and nearly had himself an interception.
Look at Rogers in coverage right here, flipping his hips, wanting to get that interception just a little bit too hard there. That ball thrown by Guest. This secondary, a lot of pressure being placed on them by Guest, throwing the ball down the field. They've stood up and played really well so far here tonight.
There's Rogers back to return the kick. And it's a pretty good kick. Rogers retreats. This ball lands inside the 30, takes another Capital bounce, and will be hovered over by 6 different Capitals, and finally a touchdown inside the 20-yard line. So a scoreless game, 7:59 left in the opening half. And a reminder, during the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Miller Mott College play of the game. Miller Mott, changing futures, changing lives. Kick off your new career with Miller Mott. Well, the feeling out process is done here, Jay. We've seen 1 interception, several punts, 1 missed field goal. And these 2 teams are now trying to challenge Cardinal Gibbons at the top of the Cab 7. 0-0 through the first 15 minutes of the game. So back on offense come the Eagles. Line of scrimmage, the 15-yard line. And a pretty safe play call on 1st down, trying the right side for a couple of yards. And an Eagle slow to get up. And teammates are hoping that Christian Arroyo is going to be okay. That's the danger of putting your top defensive player on offense. Now we're seeing that occur a little bit more often. And Arroyo made a great over-the-shoulder catch in that last possession. But he did take a shot at the end of that reception. He's on offense again.
It's a humid night too, so these guys are playing both ways. Conditioning is going to be a big impact here.
O'Neal and Moore split in the backfield. And this is O'Neal dancing around in the backfield. Gives up some yardage. Well, the ball nearly got knocked loose, but O'Neal makes something of it. There's a 1v5 run by O'Neal.
A little bit surprised Enloe isn't attacking the edges a little bit more with sweeps or end arounds to put pressure on this Broughton secondary and their edge defenders, because not only are they playing very tight in the box, only about 7 yards deep, they're also not very wide. So if you can get to the outside, there's going to be a lot of room to run, because the edge defenders are only a couple yards outside the tackle box.
Yard and a half to go on 3rd down. Look how tight the defense is around the line. Handoff inside. O'Neal again, dragged across the 25 to maybe the 26. Should be good enough. But when they need the bruising short yardage, we're going over to Christopher O'Neal, number 31.
It's like Enloe just wants to be in a street fight right now. They want to run the ball, be physical in between the tackles, and they're just getting enough to continue to pick up 1st downs, really winning the time of possession right now.
Now, when we talked with Chris Dawson, Broughton's head coach, before the game, he said we need to commit to stop the run. He has every confidence in his secondary. He said we're going to put them in a lot of one-on-one situations that almost daring Wortham and the Eagles to throw. And knowing if they can slow down number 1, Hamilton Moore, they have a good shot. Moore tries reverse field and loses ground. Back outside the 20-yard line. That's a big 1st down loss of about 7 yards.
And the biggest key as a defender is, even if you get blocked, you've got to shed your block and continue to hustle and fly to the football plate till the whistle blows. And look at the Broughton defenders here. 3, 4 guys coming in there the last minute to bring down Moore. And good team defense being displayed.
So a loss of 6. Second down for Enloe. Look at their schedule over the course of the year. I mean, they have played several tight games, one possession games, hopping around a defender, and Moore cuts it back toward the hash. Brought down around the 28-yard line, gain of 8. Still present a 3rd and long, but Moore got about half of it back.
Well, this was the play here. I thought he was going to break it to the outside, but right here at the last minute, it didn't develop, came back in, and picked up positive yards. But it's almost like Moore loves the contact, loves getting hit, and continue to drive the pile forward.
And he'd like that mission right there to make a little cutback against Codrington. 3rd and 8, Moore again, wrapped up just past the line, and he'll be well short. So the Broughton Capitals force a 4th down from Enloe, and even though each of these head coaches love to go on 4th down, this part of the field there is no chance that Ken Blocker will go for it on 4 down. So Coach Blocker will send the punt team on.
Especially with the way his defense is playing right now, you've got to have faith that they can get a stop and then hopefully give the ball back to you before halftime.
So look at Hugh Robinson. He is a game breaker on defense, returning picks for scores, on kickoffs, on punt returns. He's also probably going to get his first look on offense tonight this year for Broughton. He's back to return the kick from Marjan. Punt block comes in. It's blocked away by Broughton. The punter is down. The ball recovered by the Capitals. And there is Codrington racing in from the right side, almost taking that football off of the foot of the punter, Marjan, who is still shaken up. And there is the first game-shaping play tonight. And it comes off of the Broughton special teams.
Chris Dawson was just gushing about Codrington's ability on special teams. Unblocked. You could see how he came in there right off the edge. Perfect technique, taking the ball off the foot, getting out of the way there. You know, we thought big plays would happen on offense, defense, but Codrington stepping up once again on special teams, sparking his team.
Recovered by Robinson, and inside the Wake 86 at green zone. A, how was he unblocked on the edge? How is he not marked? And B, I don't think I've ever seen a punt block on a ball that never got to the foot of Marjan. It was en route to being dropped. He was so quick. First down, they go to the end zone, to the near pylon, and the reception is made. Touchdown, Broughton. Joachim Clark.
A sudden change here for the Broughton offense. Chris Dawson calling the ball to go to Clark. One-on-one again against Rogers. This time, high pointing the ball. Clark jumping up for it. Great pass by Guess, laying it up for his senior wide receiver. Just enough room in the corner of the end zone to come down with it. It all started with Codrington there, but now the offense got some confidence with that big play on special teams and hitting Enloe with the first score of the game.
And the extra point, though, is pulled no good. So it's a 6-0 lead for Broughton on Gordon Guest's 10th touchdown pass of the year. 4th time he's connected with Joachim Clark. It is Broughton 6, Enloe nothing. 3:50 to play in the first half.
Proudly representing the community for years, Oxner Permar is now proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete of the Week for MyRDC's Friday Night Rivals. Every Friday night, Oxner Permar will shine a light on an exceptional scholar athlete who inspires us all to do the right thing, just as we strive to make wrongs right every day at Oxner Permar. Plus, at the end of the season, one of these All-Stars will receive a $5,000 scholarship provided by Oxner Permar. Oxner Permar, we make wrongs right.
It takes 2 to dance.
She threatened me. That's not true. Okay, she was belligerent.
But it takes 3 to tango.
You all need to stop throwing the stones.
Hot Bench, the only court with 3 judges.
Get him out of my courtroom. Out.
3 opinions.
You are on the road to destruction.
3 personalities.
Oh, baloney.
Judges Acker, Corriero, and Domingo.
Not everybody's the 3 of us.
Hot Bench. Weeknights at 7 on MyRDC 28.
The senior Brandon Codrington in the open. You talk about a game changer. It's Codrington. A blocked punt led to the touchdown. Here's the blocked punt He has blocked an extra point or blocked a punt every game this year. As we take a look at the Saltwater Seafood scoring summary, the touchdown pass from Guest to Clark will fade around in the first play after the block kick. 6-0 lead for Broughton. That's unheard of. And again, how he was not blocked on that line. You know where he is. Time for another Lane and Associates kickoff, brought to you by Lane and Associates Family Dentistry. We love to make you smile. And the return of the kick out to about the 20-yard line. And let's go downstairs to Aaron Summers. Aaron?
Earlier on that blocked punt, Enloe's Leif Marjan went down. It is his left leg. He's holding his hip area, and he's been talking to both of the coaches, shaking his head back and forth in the no motion. Does not look like he is going to be coming back in. Back up, Miguel Sixto has been warming up on the sideline, getting his leg loose.
There's a look at Sixto, number 6. It makes you wonder now if Coach Blocker then would kind of eschew punting tonight and maybe be a little bit more aggressive on 4th down if that situation comes up with your starting punter potentially unable to return. Eagles down 6. And this drive begins at the 25-yard line. Left side, breaking one tackle, now another out to about the 35-yard line. Hamilton Moore stood up. Capital player loses his helmet. And finally knocked to the ground is Hamilton Moore. So Moore for a hard 11 yards.
Look at number 40 here, Tyree Watson with the kick-out block. And then also O'Neal, the other fullback inside, leading the way for Moore. That's like 7 guys in there on the tackle for Moore. I'll tell you, he's a bulldozer running the ball.
Gain of 11. Blue Cross Blue Shield first down. Moore one more time, wrapped up as a flag comes in. Gain of 2, maybe 3. It all depends on the outcome of the flag. Well, Enloe certainly has not played his best football in this opening half with penalties. Now a special teams breakdown on that block punt. Here's another penalty going against Enloe. I think if you're Coach Blocker, you're going back to the guy who can make a difference offensively. That's Hamilton Moore.
And the problem with these penalties is the Eagles aren't a predominant throw team. So if you get in a situation where it's 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and you have to throw the ball, that's not playing to your strength. And they're really hurting themselves here. 1st and 20 coming up. This is not the spot they want to be in with that penalty.
It pushes them all the way back to the 25-yard line. And they don't rely very much on Wortham's arm, and if they are, it's generally throws to the flat, shorts underneath. 3 receivers in this formation, straight drop back, pressure coming, wrapped up and thrown viciously to the turf by Broughton's defensive end, Michael Lawrence.
So impressed with his play tonight. Number 67, right in the middle of the defense. Nose tackle. See, he initially gets blocked, and then look at him get off his block, being relentless. This Capitals defensive line playing very hard right now. And they're running to the ball, and they're blitzing. They're doing a lot of things to confuse the Eagles offense.
So the holding penalty, and now a loss of 5. Need to reach the 45-yard line for a first down. The ball spotted in the 20. 2nd down for Wortham and the Eagles. Wortham will throw. He'll load it up deep down the middle. A couple of receivers there, and a stumbling catch is made by the freshman Isaiah Jacobs down to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 40.
Jacobs, the big play wide receiver for the Eagles, his 8th catch on the season. Look at Wortham here. It was a wild snap, but able to heave it down the field. And then Jacobs, he was running a go route, and then he kind of had to arc towards the middle of the field. Great hand-eye coordination. The Eagles needed a spark on offense, and the freshman giving it to his team.
Most substantial offensive play of the game for Enloe. First down in Capitals territory at the 40. And some spinning contact breaking through as O'Neal somehow got out of 3 tackles, pushed out of bounds down the sideline, just outside the 10. Sue Shunk plays for the Eagle offense.
Well, it's amazing how one big play can create some momentum. We'll see O'Neal right here just keep refusing to go down, and then the balance to stay on your feet. And we've talked about the edge defenders for Broughton, they're getting sucked up in the middle. If you can break it to the outside, a lot of room to run. O'Neal finishing off that run, a big gain.
Into the wake, 86 in green zone, just outside the 10, and O'Neal again forges forward. Tough to bring down, and they're inside the 10-yard line. 3 plays ago was a 2nd and 25 for the Eagles back at the 20-yard line. Bang, bang, and the Broughton defense on their heels.
It seemed like Enloe, even though they're doing positive things on the ground, they needed a spark, and they needed to throw the ball. They came at the perfect time here as this clock is continuing to dwindle down towards the half. This will be a huge response if they can get in the end zone.
2nd down, this is not goal to go. One more time, it's O'Neal, and O'Neal had the front of his jersey, and maybe the face mask grabbed. And a penalty marker does come in at the last moment. And this could be a face mask going up against Cordington and Broughton. And there's the jester, 5-yard face mask against the Capitals.
As Codrington coming up here in run support, going against O'Neal. He got under his block there, more going in, but then Codrington just kind of reached up and it looked like he got his jersey.
I didn't see the face mask grab. Grab kind of the collar of the jersey and the pads and pull him down. He was already engaged by one other offensive member.
That was a heck of a play by Codrington, though, to get off the block from Moore and then able to bring him down. It's a tough call with the penalty going against Broughton.
And there's a look at Chris Dawson calling a timeout for Broughton with exactly 1 minute left in this opening half. 6-0 Broughton on top. A reminder, stay tuned for the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report. We'll have this week's Oxner-Pyrmont Scholar athletes participating in school interviews with the principals, highlights from around the country, and a whole lot more. So stay tuned for the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report. Find new roads today at hendrickchevrolet.com. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter up here in the booth on a sticky 84-degree evening in Raleigh. Aaron Summers with cleaned up shoes from last week's game over in Durham. She's down on the sideline. And boy, how the winds have changed, have blown here in the last couple of minutes. Because Broughton's thinking if we stop Enloe on that 2nd and 25, get the ball back, a possession, maybe tack on 3, maybe another touchdown before halftime. Suddenly now they're playing to guard this lead.
And it's amazing how one play can change kind of the course of the ball game so far. And Broughton, they took some shots down the field, but not really anything going their way. Then the special teams play happened. Then boom, 1-for-1 pass completion on that drive with the touchdown. No, Enloe with the big passing play themselves. And here, they're going to run this ball in to try to use this clock and get in the end zone.
Let's have the 5-yard face mask. Handoff O'Neal. Room to the right side. Breaks off a 1 tackle and into the end zone. Touchdown, undefeated Enloe. 6 yards out, Christopher O'Neal.
And this was a statement drive for the Eagles, responding to the big play they gave up. And O'Neal, so unselfish as a fullback here, getting the ball. Manuel Alfred with the block, the number 11, the tight end there on the right side. Also leading the way, Tyree Watson and then Hamilton Moore, the star running back as well.
And now look who's on to attempt the extra point is Marjan with that injured left leg. Can he knock it through? He does, and the Eagles have the lead. He felt it though on that plant leg after the extra point was knocked in. He's a warrior. Eagles lead 7-6. That 6-yard touchdown run by O'Neal. Leith Auto Park Honda touchdown for the Enloe Eagles. Coach, ice my knee tomorrow. I'm not letting my undefeated team down. And the big play right here as we take a look at our saltwater seafood scoring summary. 76 yards in 7 plays, taking 2:48 off of the clock. But again, go back, it was 2nd and 25 prior to that long hookup with the freshman Isaiah Jacobs. Then O'Neal rumbles about 30 down the sideline. A couple of plays later, they are in and have the lead.
And that big catch really gave this offense energy. And they blocked better, they ran better, and they wanted to finish it off. Special teams, saw a block punt, huge. The missed extra point for Broughton, then Enloe able to connect on their extra point, the missed field goal as well. So special teams, huge here tonight on both sides of it with the positive plays and also missed opportunities.
You can see Marjan mark it off. This will be a very uncomfortable Lane and Associates kickoff. Brought to you by Lane and Associates Family Dentistry. We love to make you smile. See how far this one goes. If he just bangs it on the ground. Injured his leg in a blocked punt a couple of minutes ago. With good leverage into this one. Line drive kick off the fingertips of a Capital at the 10-yard line. Retrieves at the goal line. Now some room through the middle. And the tackle is made outside of the 25-yard line. 46 seconds to go in the first half. KJ Haywood gives Broughton fair field position. And now with two teams rising to the top of the Cap 7, means a little bit more grandstanding, a little bit more chatting in between plays.
Well, a lot of motivation in this game. Both these teams, such good seasons. You can see just how hard they're playing, how fast they are, and how physical they've been. Now, Broughton here, 46 seconds left. They've got advantage out wide with their wide receivers. Haywood and Clark, 6'3" and 6'2". Belfield, 6 feet. So they've got tall guys on the outside Guest can throw the ball up to. You know they're going to take some shots here to try to get into at least field goal range before the half.
Clark at the bottom of your screen. There's a look at Haywood. First down for the 24. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts. Guest dumps it over the middle. Finds Strickland out of the backfield. Breaks one and gets to about the 38. That will stop the clock with the first down. 39 seconds left to pick up about 15. And Clemens a little bit banged up. And a penalty marker down as well. And this one is going to go on Broughton, so bring it all the way back. So an ineligible receiver downfield for Chris Dawson. And that may change the approach here in the final 39 seconds of this half. Because I think prior to that first down play, he's thinking we can get the ball down the field with 2 timeouts in our offense. Now I think you might take your chips to cashier and say we'll take our chances in the second half down a point.
Well, whenever you have that first play of a big drive, you want to have positive yards, and now being backed up, you have to be very cautious. Now this defense, they've got some ball hawks in the secondary and linebacking core. Guess has to be careful with the ball.
And a quick pass to the sideline. Short hops the intended receiver, looking again for Clemens. And that will now bring up second down.
This ball just a little bit too low. Now interesting here, 27 seconds left. Enloe still has a timeout. So if they get a stop here, they can call the timeout. And at least try to get the ball back before the half with a little bit of time to operate.
27 seconds left first half. 7-6 Enloe. Guest has been out of the gun every offensive snap. Inside handoff, stumbling and falling, maybe to the original line of scrimmage. So not much there for Strickland, and that might be a white flag raised by the Capitals as we approach halftime. Clock running with 10 seconds left.
Well, I'm surprised Enloe not calling a timeout here.
And the clock will wind down. Coach Blocker will let it roll out. And a late first half touchdown by Christopher O'Neal has given the undefeated Enloe Eagles a 1-point lead at halftime. It's the biggest game these schools have played this late into a season in about a decade and a half. And we talked with Broughton head coach Chris Dawson before the game. He said even he was nervous. He knew his players were nervous. He tried to channel some college experiences to quell their nerves. But a couple of weeks ago, we saw a big win for Coach Blocker's Enloe Eagles. So they've actually kind of had that big game feel here 2 weeks ago. That might benefit them in the second half.
Well, the stakes get higher. When you win, more pressure on you and more of a target on your back. And the nerves, very normal for any game, but especially a game of this magnitude. I'm excited to see these teams, the adjustments that are made at the half, and see how they kind of react and operate here in the third and fourth quarter. Both sides playing so hard, though. It's been an outstanding ball game.
And a long conversation with Ken Blocker and his quarterback, Jaden Wortham, who hooked up with Isaiah Jacobs on the biggest play of the half. Coach Blocker is with Aaron Summers to assess the first half. Aaron?
Coach, 40-yard pass from quarterback Jaden Wortham to Isaiah Jacobs set up that touchdown drive. You've been pounding the ground all game. What went into the decision to throw a pass there?
Well, because they went man-to-man coverage. So man-to-man coverage without a safety, we figured we can take our chance. I mean, Isaiah that caught the ball is a 6'2" receiver, so we just told Jaden to let it fly.
Are you going to be letting it fly in the second half?
Possibly. But yeah, we might. I mean, what we seen was we got zero coverage. If we get zero coverage, we're going to pass the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. All right.
All right, 2 weeks ago at halftime, had a big lead on Sanderson. He didn't look that gleeful at halftime. Maybe the big game win has injected a lot of extra confidence for Enloe. It begins from the head coach, Ken Blocker. Halftime, Enloe with a 7-6 lead on Broughton in his homecoming on Enloe's campus. A 1-point lead for the unbeaten
Eagles. Sportsmanship, it means a lot of things.
It means showing respect for the opposing team.
And being a good host for our visitors.
It's about modeling good behavior and not getting caught up in the emotion of the moment.
It's about winning with humility.
Losing with dignity.
It is about making my high school games.
It's a good memory that I can enjoy for years to come.
Mr. Official.
Mom.
Dad. Son.
Daughter. Coach.
Are we in this together?
Sportsmanship. Together we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
Miller Mott understands skills. Miller Mott understands goals. Our career-focused medical clinical assistant training makes it easier for you to reach your goals. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Cary.
Saltwater Seafood has the freshest seafood in town and the best customer service.
Saltwater has the freshest seafood in town and the best staff.
Saltwater gets their fish fresh every morning.
Hey, Dante.
Check out the catch of the day at saltwaterseafoodnc.com and join our mailing list for weekly specials. Our fresh fish come daily from the North Carolina coast, and we're open every day but Monday.
I love their fresh fish right here at Saltwater.
For projects big or small, play it safe when you plan on digging and call or click 811 3 working days before you dig. 811 is the first step to getting your buried underground utilities like gas, electric, or internet lines located. Having these lines marked before digging helps keep you, your family, and your neighborhood safe. 811 is fast, free, and it's the law. Learn more at nc811.org.
Miller Mott understands passion. Miller Mott understands flexibility. We have the game plan for you to get the training you need for an exciting career in massage therapy. Kick off your new career education at Miller Mott College in Cary.
You're watching the Hendrick Chevrolet Halftime Report. Now it's time for the Oxnard and Permar Scholar Athlete. This week's Scholar Athletes are from Broughton High School, running back Ryan Strickland. Ryan Strickland is a 2-year football starter, a 2-year lacrosse starter, and carries a 3.96 GPA. Ryan is a Leadership Council member and has served over 100 hours of community service at the food bank and Broughton. And from Enloe Magnet High School, soccer player, a center mid, Aiden Sullivan. He's a 4-year varsity soccer starter, a 2-year team captain, 2-time All-Conference, and carries a 4.0 GPA. Aiden is DECA Vice President, a Special Olympics volunteer, and has helped raise over $100,000 for charity through Student Council. Ryan, Aiden, and other nominated All-Stars are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Oxnard Permar Law. Making wrongs right. Stay tuned for more of the Hendrick Chevrolet Halftime Report after this.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
For a place, a people, an idea, for right and freedom, for liberty and justice for all. For every square inch between fruited plains and spacious skies. Marines fight to win. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
I fight for every step I take. I want you to come play for me. This is your way out.
All-American. New series Wednesday, October 10th.
On the next
Next, Law & Order Criminal Intent.
8 murders.
How far will someone go to catch a serial killer? She staged it. To frame him, to put him away. How far did this woman go?
She killed herself.
Law & Order Criminal Intent.
Monday at 8 on MyRDC.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Welcome back to the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report, where the home team Enloe has a 7-6 lead over Broughton. I'm joined by Broughton principal Elena Ashburn. What are some ways that you and your students connect with the community?
Broughton has a long history of enjoying a very strong community support, and our students are very involved in their community, and our community is very involved in the school and shows tremendous support of our schools, and something we're very proud of.
How do you feel athletics can help mold a better adult?
Sure. Our kids are student athletes, and they're students before they're athletes, but athletics builds self-responsibility, discipline, character, and that's really what we focus on first.
Since you've been at Broughton, how has Broughton evolved?
Sure. Our big task last year was to create a strategic plan for our community. So we've created a 5-year strategic plan, and we're very proud of that work and getting into that good work.
Thanks, Elena.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm also joined by Enloe principal, Dr. Chavis. It is homecoming here. What are some of the activities that have been surrounding that event?
We started today off with a pep rally. Unbeknownst to me, we had a pep rally for me as Principal of the Year for Wake County Public Schools, which was a surprise.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Then we had a parade. We've had a tailgate. We've had a lot of activities. We had live music from our student groups here on campus, so we've had a lot of fun and a lot of things going into today.
Sold out crowd here, great atmosphere. How has the support been with the team that's 6-0?
It's been a lot of support. We've had a lot of alumni, a lot of legends come back to support our teams today. We actually had to send some people away because we're at capacity today, which has not happened since I've been principal here. We've got all classes of students here, and again, like I said, alumni. It's good to see our teachers here, our administrators, counselors, everybody just coming together to support this team.
Well, that's why we're on TV, for those people that were turned away. So you can watch more from the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report after this.
Miller Mott understands motivation. Miller Mott understands goals. Our dental assisting program makes it easier for you to start doing what you love. Kick off your new career education today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
Mike here with Leith Auto Park Honda in Cary, home of the Auto Park for Life promise, where you'll get free oil changes, loaner cars, and more with every new Honda purchase. We don't play any games or gimmicks because of our amazing staff, our huge inventory, and great selection keeps our customers happy. And Leith Peace of Mind pricing keeps them coming back. So come by our showroom located in Cary Auto Park today and drive away happy. Leith Auto Park Honda. It's easier here.
Mornings can be tough. The Kids Click superheroes can help save your day.
You must trust me on this, but it all makes sense.
Your kids will love the Kids Click classic cartoons and cool characters. Mornings every day of the week.
Awesome! Let's get started.
Gotta run? Take Kids Click with you. Simply download the app. Plus, you can watch online and on your streaming devices. Epic fun and games, just a Kids Click away.
Weekdays at 6 on MyRDC 28.
It takes 2 to dance.
She threatened me. That's not true. Okay, she was belligerent.
But it takes 3 to tangle.
You all need to stop throwing the stones.
Hot Bench, the only court with 3 judges.
Get him out of my courtroom. Out.
3 opinions.
You are on the road to destruction.
3 personalities.
Oh, baloney.
Judges Acker, Corriero, and Domingo.
Not everybody's the 3 of us.
Hot Bench. Weeknights at 7 on MyRDC 28.
Miller Mott understands support. Miller Mott understands success. Our veterinary technology program gives you the support and education you need to become a veterinary technician. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
We have had a very good one. Cap 7 right now, game of the year. Undefeated Enloe. A point up on Broughton, 7-6 at halftime. Welcome back to the Lane & Associates Friday Night Rivals, presented by My Computer Career and the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime show. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter up here in the booth. And Jay, interesting first half. Scoreless opening quarter. We saw a missed field goal, some penalties, and some big plays as well. But the big names you brought up at the open of the broadcast really delivered.
Well, and Wortham here throwing a shot down the field, but the Broughton defense, they were stingy in their run support, and then stepping up. Robinson with the big play, getting the interception, and then the lights went out here. And there was a little stall in the ball game and a little bit awkward for both teams. We don't really see it that often, but after they resumed play, boy, they really took off, and it was through the air here with Christian Rory, the tight end, star defensive end, but they're coming down with a huge play, but then a missed opportunity on the field goal for the Eagles.
Yeah, a lot on that leg, but well left by Margin. More on him a little bit later on in this highlight package. And here's the play that nearly knocked him out of the game. It was a game changer by Broughton's best player in Brandon Conrington.
Just huge on special teams, coming through there, and it was a spark their team needed. They needed a big play. Didn't really get much on offense, but that play there created a short field, and then this offense, they went for the end zone on the first play. Guest threw it up there, and high pointing the football. Coming down with it was Joachim Clark, and he's just been outstanding in this ball game, using his height to go up and get the ball, and that was a big momentum shift.
And that was late in the first half. This is even later on a 2nd and 25. The rarely used arm of the quarterback, Jaden Wortham, finds the freshman Isaiah Jacobs for 40 after O'Neal ran for another 30. The following play takes it in, and the extra point by the injured punter, Marjam, was knocked through some pain, and that's the lead, 7-6, as we take a look at the first half stats.
And right here it says it all. Rushing the ball has been the game plan for Enloe. Now they have 68 passing yards. That was really on 2 plays. Total yards totally in Enloe's favor, but the turnover there, that's the one big key they've had, plus the special teams mistake. So that's really 2 turnovers. So that's why Broughton is in this game right now. Both teams, it's really been a slugfest. Impressive with their physical play, but here at the half, the adjustment so huge for both teams to come out here and play at a high pace in the third quarter.
All right, 7-6 halftime lead for Enloe. Each week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, My RDC will be showcasing outstanding Thursday night lights and Friday Night Rivals game highlights from all across the country. And here are some of those aforementioned highlights from last week's action. Later, played for several teams, 3 Pro Bowls. Miller dodging some traffic, gets a block, spins away somehow again. And now he'll heave it down the left side, has a man wide open, and the reception is made at the 10-yard line, and Craig Kroom hauls it in.
Any local fans. Handoff goes up the middle again, the ball comes out of the play. Johnstown's defense making a big play. Scoop and score for Tyleek Shirey.
At the 6A level this year, W&J College first down. And here is a big run by Meckler. Into the open field. Meckler turning on the Jets. He goes. Touchdown.
Confused got it. Adolfo. They want it all. Pass is complete. Great adjustment on the ball right there. Rowan Ray to the end zone.
Right back around, a little hitch and go, and then he's able to make the defender miss.
It's been bonkers.
Out of control a little bit.
Krusha has it picked off by Caden McCormick, and McCormick, he's going to try to return it. McCormick to the 20, to the 15, 10. Caden McCormick returns the interception in for the score with 2 seconds on the clock.
Some great highlights from all around the country there. Here you have a couple of teams foreign to the spotlight of the Triangle in Week 7. But 2 of the 3 undefeated teams in the Cap 7 dueling it out on homecoming. Undefeated Enloe up 7-6 on the Broughton Capitals. More of the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime show when we return. 7-6 Enloe.
Growing up, I was kind of reserved and quiet, and then when I got on the soccer field, I sort of just left all that behind me. You know, my friends and I, we would laugh and scream and just like have so much fun. And so as I started playing soccer and getting more into it, at school I realized it was easier for me to make friends and connect. Just because that camaraderie I had on the soccer team, I felt like I could do that in real life, like why not?
Miller Mott understands skills. Miller Mott understands goals. Our career-focused medical clinical assistant training makes it easier for you to reach your goals. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Cary.
Get up!
With the name trusted for 80 years, you have the compassion of the cross, the security of the shield, and the plan that's right for you, giving you the freedom to relish right now. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live fearless.
Tell your troubles face to face. The judge decides who wins their case.
Next case.
Hey, excuse me, let a real judge do this.
I asked if they wanted to take photos on the back of the jet ski.
You're 43 years old. This is like a 14-year-old move.
You were her sugar daddy. You just wasn't putting out enough sugar.
The dog is doing what it's nature to do.
Tell your troubles face to face. The judge decides who wins their case.
Case closed.
Starting at 5 on MyRDC 28.
Miller Mott understands passion. Miller Mott understands flexibility. We have the game plan for you to get the training you need for an exciting career in massage therapy. Kick off your new career education at Miller Mott College in Cary.
A missed extra point is the difference as we prepare for the start of the third quarter. Enloe leading Broughton 7-6. Aaron Summers is with Broughton's head coach, Chris Dawson. Aaron?
Coach Dawson, how are you going to capitalize on some of the opportunities going forward?
Well, our defense has been great all year, and special teams about creating opportunities. They gave us a big opportunity with the block punt, and we scored a touchdown off of it. I don't know what happened on the extra point. It looked good to me, but they have like midget field goals here, so it's hard to tell. We'll count on defense and special teams to create opportunities again in the second half. And then we got to just start moving the ball a little more consistently on offense. Enloe does this to everybody. They go on long, long drives, so a 3-and-out hurts you. But you know, I think we started to find our groove a little bit on offense, excluding the last possession. We got a penalty and it backed us up, so we just kind of ran the clock out. But I think we feel pretty confident about what we can do offensively in the second half. And we just got to wither their attack on their offense. We got to wither that attack on defense.
How are you going to be able to wither that attack? What are you going to need to do, especially with running back Hamilton Moore?
We just got to keep playing our responsibilities and be the aggressor, right? What they count on, I think, again, and you see in a lot of their film, is in the second half they just start pounding teams and teams kind of retreat into a shell. We got to flip the script on them and be the aggressor on defense, and while being aggressive, playing our responsibilities.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Patrick?
All right. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you, Chris. That was a dissertation quality halftime interview from Chris Dawson. I don't think I've ever heard a halftime interview get such protracted answers from Chris Dawson. I love it. It's a fantastic job and a lot of insight.
He gave us a lot of information, and everything he said was spot on. You know, his defense, they've done a good job so far, but really in the second half, it's about not getting worn down, and he said being the aggressor. In order to slow down the Enloe running attack, you've got to attack, you've got to get penetration, you've got to be physical.
Now, one of the comments he made during that interview, he thought they made the extra point. Let's go back to the missed extra point about midway through the second quarter. And he did make mention of the shorter uprights. Yeah. And from that angle, tough to tell. But Jay, I think he may have a claim here.
It is tough to tell, but the goalposts are a little bit short here, and it's hard to see exactly. But the ball did go straight, and it looked like it would have gone through it enough. It just depends the depth of how far it was, because then it started hooking a little bit. But he does have a point that it was close.
And he is a Broughton Capital alumnus, quarterback there for a couple of years, graduated in 2001. Then he played college football, started at Wofford, left that program, and then went from a walk-on at Tulane to a team captain in 2005, his last year there. I called a lot of Tulane ECU games on TV several years ago. He had just left the program. You were at ECU, had a little bit of overlap in your time with the Pirates and his time with Tulane.
Yeah, the old Conference USA matchups down there. It was fun playing against them and kind of interesting seeing guys that you have a history with.
All right, so we're coming back. Third quarter action. Enloe is trying to stay undefeated with a 7-6 lead on Broughton. Third quarter is next.
Miller Mott understands motivation. Miller Mott understands goals. Our dental assisting program makes it easier for you to start doing what you love. Kick off your new career education today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
Plastic bottles in North Carolina are creating jobs in our communities. They are separated, sorted, and packaged by your neighbors. Bottles are ground into small pieces called flake by your friends. The flake is clean and melted into pellets, then transformed into socks, your favorite shirt, the carpeting in your car, as well as other bottles. When you recycle plastic bottles here in the Carolinas, you're providing employment for an estimated 3,500 people. When you recycle your plastic bottles, you're making a positive impact on your community. Your bottle means jobs.
Miller Mott understands support. Miller Mott understands success. Our veterinary technology program gives you the support and education you need to become a veterinary technician. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
Undefeated Enloe, 6-0, taking on the Broughton Capitals at 4-2. Those are two teams not used to dancing on this kind of stage this deep into the regular season. So far, pretty entertaining game. Certainly, Jay, as we heard from both coaches entering intermission, a lot to clean up, and the game is probably right where it should be, within a point or two.
Well, we thought it was going to be a close ball game, and it hasn't disappointed. The second half, to me, is going to come down to which team gets tired, which team can instill their physical play. And for Enloe, they want to continue to run the ball. They're not going to change the game plan up. You know, Coach Blocker talked about taking more shots, but they're going to do everything on the ground. They may take a few shots when they see some opportunities. And for Broughton, they've done a good job spreading the ball out to their different playmakers, but they need to connect on some of those long passing plays. They had some opportunities in one-on-one coverage in the first half. They weren't able to connect, but they also have to continue to rely on their defense and big plays on special teams and defense by Codrington. We saw it once in the first half, and I'd expect him to continue to play at a high level here in the second half.
It'll be interesting to watch defensively for Broughton, because Ken Blocker, yes, the Eagles don't throw the ball all that much, but yes, they have Isaiah Jacobs, the big wideout, and we saw him a couple of weeks ago when Sanderson was making a fourth quarter push to get back in the game on a fourth down play. We saw the quarterback, Wortham, locate the freshman, and Jacobs made that catch. He came up big again here late in the second quarter. So he feels confident in that combination. Will he continue to air it out if they stay in zero coverage?
Well, Jacobs, even though he's a freshman, he's one of those guys that just comes up at the big times in the game. He makes up the play, and he's only got 8 catches, but each one of those catches has been huge for his team. The Sanderson game here tonight as well.
All right, so Broughton will kick off. Down a point. 7-6 Enloe in front of a standing room only crowd, turning away alumni. Unfortunately, we welcome them to the broadcast, and the kick is on the way by Broughton. And Enloe will bring it ahead across the 20 to the 30, 35-yard line, and tumble down. Solid return by the Enloe Eagles, and good field position for Enloe to open up this third quarter, leading by a point, 7-6.
And for Enloe, they've been running the ball predominantly on the ground here, but also key for them is they've had 3 different running backs, 3 different fullbacks getting involved. So these guys, even though they've been running the ball, it's not like their legs are tired from getting carries. So they're still fresh with the different depth they have in the backfield.
And the junior quarterback, Jaden Wortham, tight formation on first down. And the opening play of the third quarter, handoff Hamilton Moore through the left side, leads with that right arm, trying to stiff arm away a defender, and carries it to the 46-yard line. And maybe pleading for a little extra yardage with one of the officials after the tackle.
Well, let's hear the kick-out blocks. Rory, both fullbacks, O'Neal and Watson leading the way, then Moore finishing off. Now it's going to come down to who gets tired, who can be more physical here. Those guys have been going against each other all night long at the point of attack.
Oregon gets a good block on the outside from O'Neal, but then covered up quickly by 3 more Capital defenders. And the first one on the scene, Mason Hunter, senior linebacker, gain of 1.5 yards.
And Coach Dawson talking to Aaron as Moore continues to pound the rock. Talking to Aaron at halftime, talking about Enloe is known for these long drives. It's going to be key for Broughton. They cannot let Enloe use the clock up, continue to churn and connect on first down opportunities. They've got to get off the field, and it starts getting Enloe in 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. This is O'Neal, bumped immediately in the backfield, and hanging on for dear life is Q2, number 45. Wrapped him up below the knees, wouldn't let go, and just waited for reinforcements. And maybe 1 yard there, so 3rd and 7 coming up. There's a look at Q2.
And he's been doing a nice job all night, being physical, and you can see him getting into the backfield, getting off his block. You know, it's hard for running backs to get any momentum in that downhill attack if they can't really get started, and nice play there, breaking up.
Well, here we go, 3rd down along 7. Is this a throwing down for Wortham and the Eagles? How much trust does Coach Blocker have in Wortham? He's out of the gun. 4 receivers across the formation. Looking left, tucks it in, makes one man miss, angles the sideline, turns the corner, and has the first down. Jaden Wortham. On 3rd and 7, picks up what looks to be 8. It should be a first down.
And Wortham here looking downfield, but you can see that he really wanted to go. And Codrington right there going underneath his block, trying to make the big play, but just not able to get there in time. And Wortham, enough speed to get to the outside, and what a huge play getting outside the pocket.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, first down. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina. Line of scrimmage just outside the Capital 42-yard line. Enloe ball and a 1-point lead. Handoff, Hamilton Moore barrels down, gets inside the 40. They'll mark him down about the 39. Even when you look like you'll hold him to a nominal gain, it's still 4 or 5 yard chunks for Moore.
And he's averaging 7.8 yards per carry on the season. It's just amazing what he can do, especially when the defense knows he's the best player on offense and they're doing everything they can to stop him. He's still able to get positive yards.
Rory lines up as the tight end on the right on 2nd and 5. Moore again going. He was shadowed and dropped for a loss. We've seen a couple of spies on Hamilton Moore through the course of the game, and it paid dividends right here.
A missed block up front, and this Capitals defense. Now this is the situation they want to be in, 3rd and long. Now on the previous 3rd and long, Wortham was able to sneak away free. But the key here is, after seeing Wortham, you've got to keep a spy on him. You cannot allow him to run the ball. That's what he wants to do, even when it's a passing situation. If he can break free, he's got enough speed to get to the outside. So they've got to keep a spy on him and keep him in the pocket.
Torres McDaniel split off to the right side. 5 receivers. This is awfully rare for Enloe. Loading it up. Wortham. He wants the freshman again. And near the 10-yard line, that pass got through. And the reception by Isaiah Jacobs. A corkscrew catch on a ball that the defender simply tried to swat out of the air and missed.
Well, look at Jacobs just tracking this ball, looking over, then turning his shoulders and waiting for it to come down. And that was excellent coverage by Cisse, the cornerback, number 15. But Jacobs, again, the freshman, stepping up. He's the big play wide receiver. His 9th catch on the season, 2 here tonight. Just really flipping this field position. The Eagles now continuing their drives on 3rd down.
Back inside the Wake 86 at green zone. Keep Wake County litter free, and 86 of trash. First down carry, heading toward the pylon. Hamilton Moore turns the corner and takes it in. Touchdown, Enloe. From 9 yards out, Hamilton Moore's 15th touchdown run of the year. And it's 13-6 Enloe.
And this blocking up front by the Eagles, so impressive. But then Moore, once he gets hit, he just refuses to go down. So physical talked about in college next year playing linebacker. That's where he looks to be. But here as a running back, he uses that defensive mentality coming out of the backfield. He's so tough to bring down.
See how that plant leg feels this time. Might have been tipped up the middle, but still enough to get through for Leif Marjan. Hamilton Moore, who ran for 6 touchdowns on these airwaves 2 weeks ago. His first score tonight, and it's now a full touchdown lead for Enloe, 14-6 on Broughton with 8:11 left in the third quarter.
Well, in this third down situations, this is where it just really hurt Broughton on this drive. They got it where they want 3rd and long, but Wortham running it and then heaving the ball up, and Jacobs just continues to stand out, the young freshman. And then that gave Hamilton Moore great field position to capitalize here, getting into the end zone. And this Broughton defense, it's tough when you give up some big plays to continue to fight back in there. The Enloe offensive line, fullbacks and more, just push the ball into the end zone.
Quick strike offense, the Saltwater Seafood scoring summary brought to you by Saltwater Seafood Market and Fry Shack, a proud sponsor of Friday Night Rivals high school football. Our fish comes fresh from the North Carolina coast daily, and we're open every day but Monday. So come see us at the corner of Fenton Street and Capitol Boulevard and check out our catch of the day. 14-6 Enloe on top of Broughton. It is homecoming, and with that touchdown, yeah, a lot of smiles out there. Time for the Lane and Associates Family Dentistry Smile Cam. We love to make you smile. And the kick tumbles on a couple of hops. And here come the Capitals. KJ Haywood back to the middle of the field, stacked up shy of the 30-yard line. A little extra punishment delivered by Enloe's Bryce Rogers and company. And a long field now for the Capitals, trailing by 8.
Well, and a huge crowd here tonight. Now Enloe, they've got the momentum here. A big drive. And Broughton, they've got to capture some of that confidence back that they had in the first half. And here get something positive going as Enloe has the lead.
And this could be huge for the Capitals. That's Brandon Codrington, one of the best high school football players in the Triangle, down with an injury on that kickoff return, and he is writhing. We'll check his status when we come back. 14-6 Enloe, and Codrington down for Broughton when we return.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at HendrickChevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Listen up, Ninja Warriors. You've seen it on TV, and now you can take on the challenge. The Real American Ninja Warrior course at Launching Pad is now open. Need more thrills? Head over to the launch tower for the jump of a lifetime. Only at Launching Pad in Raleigh.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at HendrickChevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Now, what has been a spectacular season for the Broughton Capitals may have just taken a gut punch. Brandon Codrington, number 23, escorted off the field, injured on this kickoff return. And Jay, it looks to be the left wrist. What do you see?
And we'll see it here. I think it was the left wrist. Number 23 is on there, kind of getting caught up. Oh, and then just the shot coming in there. And number 30, Braswell. And he was laying down there in pain, holding the wrist patch again. It's tough to see, and hopefully it's nothing too bad down there.
They'll still be intended to by the athletic training staff for Broughton. First down played. Flares it out to the left side. Slipping down after a nominal gain, Ryan Strickland. 14-6, Enloe leading. Now Codrington, he does it all. I mean, he's even adding plays to the offensive playbook tonight for the first time. He's getting some FCS looks as well. Quality player, great athlete. What's the takeaway from special teams and especially defense for the Capitals?
Well, it's a huge loss because his production is such at a high level. But the other thing is, whenever you're a teammate and you see the leader of your team, one of the best players or the best player, go down, it really affects you, and it hurts to see him down there, but also, too, just knowing what the game means to him. You know, these guys is kind of like a sucker punch to them as well, but you have to find a way to kind of get focused again, and then you've got to pick up some of the slack, and you've got to step up and kind of use that as motivation. Hey, we need to play for Brandon right now while he's out of the game.
And you know he wants to come back in, but the question is, will he be allowed as they do some further tests on that wrist? Meanwhile, false start penalty chases the Caps back 5 yards. They're behind the change now, 2nd and 14. Trailing Enloe by 8. Broughton took a 6-0 lead late in the second quarter. Gave it up, and a final minute touchdown to Enloe. They screen it out, reception, and taken across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Davis Clemens, he's been used as a wideout, used out of the backfield, and a productive offensive player for quarterback Gordon Guest.
Well, this is the 3rd screen Broughton has run, and they've had success on the previous 2 players. Another positive gain there. And that's an area I think they need to continue to use the screen to slow down the pressure of the Eagles.
A long 4 to go on 3rd down. Guest smacks the hands, and now maybe an audible. Time to throw. Spins into the sideline, running to it, and the catch made at the 47-yard line and inbounds by Davis Clemens. Great finesse on the throw by Gass. That covered a lot of ground. But do we have a penalty on the play? We do. And the Capitals are heading back toward the line of scrimmage. It's an illegal block in the back, though, against Enloe.
Wow.
So the catch will stand.
And that ball could have been in a better place. An outstanding throw by Guest, lofting the ball only where Clemens could catch it, right across the corner of the sidelines there. And then Clemens, boy, he had to dive for that, focus on it all the way in. Big opportunity for Broughton here with the penalty and the conversion.
Not sure what the holdup is. If that's the only penalty on the play, if you're Broughton, you're marching down the field and taking the reception. The official near where the receiver went out of bounds is standing to the 46-yard line. And just now the Capitals begin to head forward. Let's go downstairs for an injury update on Brandon Codrington with Aaron Summers. Aaron?
I've been on the Broughton sideline. Codrington is getting his left wrist taped up. They spent a lot of time pressing on different areas of his forearm and having him move his wrist around. He said that it didn't hurt. He really wasn't having a lot of facial expressions, didn't seem like he was in too much pain. And it looks like he's putting his glove back on now, and he's going to attempt to come back in the game.
All right, Jay. Well, they do test the strength to make sure that the bones are intact. There's not a break there. What'd you see?
Well, I saw him. You know, it looks like that's a player that initially was in a lot of pain, and then Aaron said, you know, hey, it looks like he's feeling a little bit better. Plus, you get tape and the adrenaline. You know, that all adds into it. But here, he just got shot right there by Braswell with his helmet, and at that moment, well, I can tell you, there's no bigger pain being out in the field than getting hit with the helmet.
So after the reception, 1st down inside Enloe territory, shedding one tackle, and then folding forward. Strickland for a couple of yards. Easy could have been knocked back for a couple of yard loss.
Strickland, he's a tough kid out there, getting extra yards. It looks like he was going to get about a 4-yard loss here. And then look at him right here, continuing to fight, using his balance in his hand, and then just diving forward. 4 Eagle defenders over there to bring him down, but good job just fighting for everything he could get.
It is 14-6 Enloe. 2nd down from the 45. Quarterback draw now, an option. They flare it out. Strickland gets around one block from Clemens, but no territory there outside the hashes to the 43. A lot of duress there to pick up 3.5, maybe 4 yards. That'll bring up another key 3rd down for Broughton.
And Guest just improvising here. Kind of faked the run and then flipped the ball out. And Clemens, he had to hold that block for a long time, but he was the key right there to get those positive yards.
Need to reach the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 7. Capitals trailing by 8. Faking right, throwing back the opposite side. Inside the 40, wrapped up. Look at the extra effort there. The ball, though, comes loose down to the 30-yard line. Did Enloe get on it? The second effort was good enough for the first down, but then the ball sprung loose. And no signal yet. It's Enloe football. Jordan Miller recovers the fumble for Enloe.
And they went back to the screen where they've had success. Great play call here. And then flashing across, the effort, the fight by Haywood, going backwards here to get the yards. But then the ball just shot out right at the last second and stripping that ball. Outstanding job by Daniel Bryant, getting his hand in there, clearing it out. But then Enloe, it just seems like they find big play opportunities right when their team needs it, right when some of the momentum is going Broughton's way.
And now at the 30-yard line, the Eagles for the first time with an 8-point lead and the ball. Carried for a couple of yards off the left side, but boy, how often do you see it? For the Broughton offense, you know you need to make a big play. When you caught that screen pass, you're 3-4 yards short. You're just making an extra play for KJ Haywood. As Codrington is back on the field, we'll watch him and see how exposed that left wrist is, but trying to make a play, trying to get a first down, the ball gets exposed and a turnover the result.
It's tough because you can't fault his effort in a situation where he was going backwards to get it, but you just have to know that contact is coming your way and somehow wrap the ball up with both arms.
Tight ends left and right on second down and 8. Give to the fullback and nothing there. Only to the right, maybe a half yard. So despite the turnover forced by Enloe, this is now one of their longest third down moments of the game. 3:45 and counting for the third quarter.
And J.P. Neary, number 77, the big defensive tackle, with his fresh legs getting into the backfield. Now Broughton, we talked about this is where they want third and long, but they haven't had that success. Again, they've got to keep a spy on Wortham and then find out where Jacobs is and double cover him. He's been the weapon on the outside.
And Jacobs now is set it up as the slot man on the right side. Third down and a long 7. And a whistle's blown prior to the movement ahead by the receivers of Enloe. We get a timeout taken by the Eagles. Again, Ken Blocker never hides his emotions, Jay. We saw him even during the 4 or 5 minute delay when the lights went down in the first quarter. Still very early in the game, but he was very emphatic with his squad. They've responded. Let's go again downstairs to Aaron.
Enloe head coach Ken Blocker is always very animated, and he pulled his offensive side before this drive, and he said, we want it more than they do. I'm watching them. I can tell they're just waiting for us to make a mistake. So he was imploring his offense to play tight, play their game, and to show how much that they want this win.
Well, you see that on the sidelines. I mean, he's the perfect guy for this job at this time. And we saw that a couple of weeks ago and how much it meant to his kids, how much it meant to the students, and really how much it meant to him, because he was here when this program was the nadir of the conference with no hope. Talked many times about, kids were sometimes being discouraged to come play football at Enloe, which is certainly better known for its academic prowess than its success in the football field, but that has now changed. Here we go, third down, 7 yards to go. Wortham loads it up. He's looking for his favorite target, Jacobs. It's up in the air and knocked out of bounds. Incomplete. That's the first ball we've seen thrown Jacobs' way in 3 weeks that he hasn't come down with. And well played by Broughton's Q Robinson.
And Robinson, great coverage on the outside. And Wortham just heaved it up once again. I mean, perfect coverage in that last minute, reaching that left hand in there to knock the ball out of Jacobs' grasp. This secondary for Broughton, boy, they've been in coverage very tight tonight.
All right, here we go now, fourth down. Last time we saw this matchup, Codrington came off the edge and blocked the punt out of the air. High snap, Martin comes down with it, and the rush was on, got it away. And a fingertip grab at the 35-yard line, moving forward. Big return here for Broughton down the left sideline and stepping on the sideline. Big return into Enloe territory. 2:54 left, third quarter. Enloe 14, Broughton 6. There's a penalty marker, though, on the field back around the line of scrimmage. And it's holding on Enloe. Boy, if I'm Chris Dawson, you know how good and effective your punt block team is, but I take the return and take the result and don't make them re-kick.
There's Codrington there looking like he was declining the penalty. And you just get the feeling, even though still plenty of time in this ball game, Broughton needs this drive here. They need to make a statement here to get into the end zone and fight back. This quarter really hasn't gotten their way.
All right, a reminder that during the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we will be selecting the Miller Mott College play of the game. Miller Mott, changing futures, changing lives. Kick off your new career with Miller Mott. Well, the Enloe punt unit isn't quite sure if they're back on the field or not. The officials are over toward the sideline of Broughton discussing things. I can't imagine you would make him re-kick. We'll see what Brad Whitley, the referee, indicates here. And here's the call again. It's holding on Enloe, and they will decline the penalty and take the big return inside Eagles territory. So go back on the last offensive play for Broughton. The stretch on second efforts to pick up the first down led to the turnover. Didn't cost them, and they're basically around the same point of the field.
If I'm Broughton, you know, Haywood just had that big play and the fumble there. I would go back to him because you know his fight and how bad he wants to make a tone for that fumble there. And I'd go back to the senior wide receiver.
Red Guest out of the pistol, Strickland behind him. 4 receivers set for Broughton, trailing 14-6. 2:54 left third quarter. Time for Guest. Deep down the left side, has the man beat him, broke it up and tipped away by the extended left hand of John Wright. Touchdown saving PBU.
Belfield here shot through on a go route. Great speed, breaking behind the defense. And Guest lofted it up. Oh, that coverage just outstanding. And then Wright looking back right at the last minute, finding the ball, tipping it away. Both sides, the coverage, these guys have been very good in coverage tonight.
Broke it up by a thumbprint. 2nd and 10. Man in motion. Guest will hand off Strickland. Room through the left side. Breaking through, down the middle, and runs over David Deacon. And still on his feet. And takes it down to about the 5-yard line. Big run for Strickland. Ran right through David Dowdu. And Broughton down 8 inside the Wake 86 green zone thanks to this punishing run.
Well, a lot of misdirection here, and then the left side of the O-line just cleared the path for Strickland, and then running over the defenders, the fight to get into the end zone. A big play by Strickland.
And it's 1st and goal from the 5. Broughton down by 8. Hard count, no jump. Guest a glance at the sideline. Tight formation here for the Capitals for the first time tonight. Direct snap. Strickland to the right side with a quarterback leading a block. And toward the goal line, touchdown. Arms in the air, touchdown, Broughton. The direct snap to Ryan Strickland. Takes it in for 6. And the Capitals are a 2-point conversion away from a tie.
Chris Dawson recognizing the hunger by Strickland on the previous play, fighting, and then here giving the ball right back to his senior on the direct snap. Great blocking up front. And then Strickland just staying low, diving just far enough to get in the end zone.
Now the 2-point conversion for the Tide. Hard count again by Guest. Officials didn't buy it. 2:11 left, third quarter. Strickland to Guest left again. A direct snap. Strickland to the right side. Look at Guest leading a block. Pushes a man out of the way. But taken down shy of the goal line. Daquan Rogers wrapped him up and maintains the lead for his undefeated Eagles. It's Enloe 14, Broughton 12. And the second missed conversion by Broughton tonight.
And Rogers made the tackle, but the rest of the defense just strung out Strickland just long enough. Then Rogers had contained there, brought Strickland back in for that conversion opportunity. The defensive stand by Enloe, even though they gave up the touchdown, having the ability to give up a touchdown, but then come back for one play, get a stop, and save them 2 points.
There you go back. As we take a look at the Saltwater Seafood scoring summary, only 43 seconds. That big bruising run by Strickland, who took it in on a direct snap a play later. 2 plays, 37 yards, and the 2-point conversion failed. We heard from Chris Dawson in that long essay in his halftime interview, kind of bemoaned the missed extra point. He thought it may have been made over the shorter left upright. That's the only reason they are now going for 2 if that extra point in the first half is good. So now they're chasing points. They're down by 2. And the Capitals will kick off late third quarter. 14-12 Enloe. Enloe trying to get to 3-0 in the Cap 7. Broughton looking for its second win without a loss. And this kickoff tumbles toward the sideline, picked up by Rogers. And not a lot of room down tight quarters on that far sideline. We've seen some good things happen for Broughton over the last few moments. Despite their turnover, the defense stood up, got a stop, big punt return, a couple of big plays, and they're energized and back within 2 points.
And Codrington now back in this ball game on the defensive side. And we've seen the impact he's had tonight so far, and he's going to have a big half here. You know, it's tough seeing him go down, but good that he's healthy enough to come back in this game.
And the Capital is down on the back end of that kickoff return. It's the Eagles to the sideline, regrouping. Still on top, 14-12. Gingerly walking over toward the sideline is the injured Capital. Well, this is where, you know, the Enloe Eagles may benefit because they've been here before. A lot of their games been very tightly played over the course of this undefeated season. So they know how to win when the pressure is certainly on. Homecoming crowd. Enloe at 6-0. They've led since the late stages of the first half. And this is Hamilton Moore, nowhere to go. Angley left. Inside 2 minutes for the third.
Coach Blocker talked to the half with Aaron about maybe opening things up here in the second half. Now they've had to a couple times on third down, but we haven't seen them do it yet on first or second down when it looked like a running situation for the Eagles. And if I were the Enloe, I would try another passing play here on first or second down, because this Broughton defense, especially on first and second, they're selling out for the run.
9 yards to go, second down. Wortham gives it off. Moore planted at the 27. And let's go downstairs to Aaron Summers, who has a little backstory on Jaden Wortham.
Coach Ken Blocker said that Jaden Wortham spent all of last season by his side, that he is almost able to basically run this offense himself, and I can see it on the sidelines. He sat down the offensive linemen before they took the field right now, and he was going through each person's responsibility and kind of coaching them through what he would like from them, what he needs from them, but he was doing it in a very inspirational, motivating way. You know, continually telling them that they were doing a great job, that they were going to win this game, they just need to get some more runs. And he's like, oh, hey, you got my weak side, right? Just in case.
Third down and 5. And the handoff goes to O'Neal off the left side, banged out of bounds, right around the 30-yard line. Should be about a yard or two short. Tough break for the Eagles, though. Prior to that play, Hamilton Moore inadvertently had his helmet knocked off, had to leave the field for a play on a critical third down play. And that's what sent O'Neal back onto the floor. So now it's fourth down, and the punt team, for the moment, still on the Eagles sideline.
And Moore talking to the sideline. He wants the ball here. He wants to go for it.
Oh, this is a big, big gamble. You're up by 2. 36 seconds left, third quarter. Your punter injured earlier in the game. The punt block team unparalleled by Broughton. Will they go, or is this a decoy? No, they're going. Hamilton Moore strung to the right side, being chased, turns the corner. He won't get there. Hamilton Moore denied by the Capitals, and Broughton down by 2 gets a fourth down stop deep inside Enloe territory. Krishan Cheek, Mason Hunter, and Enloe turns it over on down.
Look at Hunter and Cheek out here setting, contain, forcing more to go outside, just stringing along, and then the speed of Cheek, the safety coming downhill, being physical, and that sideline erupted after that big play.
Well, that may be a play later tonight that Ken Blocker questions. But now he's been relying on his defense almost all year. This drive begins at the 28-yard line of the Eagles. First down, Broughton looking for the lead. Here's the jet sweep, patiently developing on the right side. Turn it up as Haywood, and Haywood backpedals his way to the 22. Good to see Haywood back on the field, 100% after he was dinged up a couple of moments ago.
They've used this jet sweep with Strickland out front, leading the way. Nice block there, clearing a path. And positive yards here. Now Broughton, great field position here. I would expect them to use their tall wide receivers here at the start of the fourth quarter.
Well, that is going to do it for the third quarter. It is the biggest regular season game these two teams have played in about 15 years. And we have 12 more minutes of inspired football left. Undefeated Enloe with a 2-point lead on Broughton through 3. It's 14-12 Eagles. Friday night rivals on MyRDC.
MyRDC Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career. Watch each week as the area's best high schools take the field and battle for victory. Pride, determination, and the will to win. Experience it all live. The best matchups every week. MyRDC Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career.
Miller Mott understands skills. Miller Mott understands goals. Our career-focused medical clinical assistant training makes it easier for you to reach your goals. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Cary.
Proudly representing the community for years, Oxner Permar is now proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete of the Week for MyRDC's Friday Night Rivals. Every Friday night, Oxner Permar will shine a light on an exceptional scholar athlete who inspires us all to do the right thing, just as we strive to make wrongs right every day at Oxner Permar. Plus, at the end of the season, one of these All-Stars will receive a $5,000 scholarship provided by Oxner Permar. Oxner Permar, we make wrongs right.
Love is louder.
Love is louder.
Love is louder.
Love is louder than bullying.
Than hate. Depression. Loneliness. Stress.
Than anger.
Love is louder than
fear.
Anxiety. Insecurity.
Love is louder than discrimination.
Love is louder than abuse.
Love is louder. Love is louder when you take action to help yourself or a friend. If you or someone you know is having a hard time, go to loveislouder.com to find out ways you can get help and feel better.
Miller Mott understands passion. Miller Mott understands flexibility. We have the game plan for you to get the training you need for an exciting career in massage therapy. Kick off your new career education at Miller Mott College in Cary.
Welcome back to Enloe High School. Fourth quarter underway. Enloe on top of Broughton, 14-12. Patrick Cadis, Jay Sohnhalter up here in the sultry broadcast booth. Aaron Summers is sweating off some calories on the sideline. A steamer tonight. And what a fourth quarter we have shaping up. Ken Blocker's Eagles nursing a 2-point lead. Broughton a moment ago snuffed out a fourth down try by Enloe's offense deep in Enloe's territory. This is the ensuing drive, 3rd and 1, and a tackle for a loss behind the line of scrimmage by Christian Rory. And that'll bring up 4th down now for Broughton. And a decision for Chris Dawson.
Rory's going to one-on-one. He just beat his man, the Duke commit. We saw him step up on offense, and now the defensive side, he blew that play up.
Decision time for Chris Dawson. He doesn't kick many field goals. One here would give them the lead. Will he try it? We'll find out. Timeout on the field. 14-12 Enloe. 4th down for Broughton when we return.
Miller Mott understands skills. Miller Mott understands goals. Our career-focused medical clinical assistant training makes it easier for you to reach your goals. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Cary.
It doesn't matter how you do it, just 86 it.
Miller Mott understands passion. Miller Mott understands flexibility. We have the game plan for you to get the training you need for an exciting career in massage therapy. Kick off your new career education at Miller Mott College in Cary.
Early fourth quarter, and we've arrived at our first of what we expect to be many plays of the game. Fourth down, 2.5 to go for Broughton, trailing by 2. They are not kicking the field goal. Direct step, Strickland nosing his way forward. Strickland inside the 20. Is it enough? Enloe says no. Waiting for the signal. And it's Enloe football.
On that effort by the Enloe defensive line, total team effort on the front side and backside. Christian Rory came in on the backside, number 9. We'll see him right here kind of flow down the line. But how about Bryant, number 75? Great job. Double teamed using his left and right arm, but getting lower than the blockers, blowing up the play, splitting that double team, and then Rory cleaning it up with him. But a great effort by the defensive tackle, number 75, Daniel Bryant.
Each team with a key game-changing fourth down defensive stand, and now the ball back to Enloe, holding on to that 2-point lead. As we see O'Neal take it off the left side, O'Neal will pick up about 5. Let's go downstairs to Aaron Summers, talking about that fourth down attempt we saw from Enloe a moment ago.
Enloe very lucky not to have that fourth down call cost them. Going into that fourth down play, coach wanted to go with the kicker, and Hamilton Moore and quarterback Wortham, they convinced him otherwise. Over here on the sideline, there was a very honest conversation going on between Coach Blocker and those two, Hamilton Moore and Jaden Wortham, about what went into that reasoning, why they wanted to play what they were trying to do there. And he said, you know, guys, can I be a coach for a second here? You know, what you're seeing out there isn't the same thing as what I'm seeing out here. So what's really going on? You know, Hamilton Moore is still trying to plead his case. And coach said, look, either way, it's 14-12 right now. We can't be doing things like that.
Interesting insight. Thanks so much, Aaron. And on 3rd and short, not enough right there. And the Broughton defense, again, stiffening up. 9:43 left, fourth quarter, 14-12 Enloe. Well, that's the interesting backstory on that fourth down call. It's homecoming. Kids, I mean, tell me a player, Jay, you played at the college level. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, they always want to go on fourth down.
Yeah, you never want to punt the ball. I mean, that's why you can't always listen to a player's insight. And Coach Blocker, you know, went with the players there, but also teaching them after to let him, you know, make the calls there. But I'll tell you, it's a tough situation because you want the players to be aggressive. You want them to go for it. And it would have been great if they would have made it, but when it didn't work out, it really left their defense in a tough spot.
Well, look at Mason Hunter right now, trying to turn this road game into a home crowd feel for a lot of the Broughton fans who have made the short trip over here off of New Bern Avenue. Penalty pushing Enloe back to about the 14-yard line. This is now 3rd and about 16. A dangerous spot in the field if you're going to trust Wortham to put it through the air.
And you've got to have a spy on Wortham and then double team Jacobs. If I'm defense, a player for Broughton, I'm finding those two guys, making sure they don't have an opportunity here.
And a timeout taken by Enloe. Jacobs was matched up one-on-one against Codrington at the top of the screen. And Now Ken Blocker will decide what to do, and I don't think he'll take as much input as he got earlier in this fourth quarter. Timeout of the field. Enloe facing 3rd and long, up by 2 when we come back.
Stepping into the unknown, it can be difficult to find the way. But with the compassion of the cross and the security of the shield, obstacles become openings. As we have for over 80 years, we'll continue to light the way, helping families find the right coverage in all 100 counties, giving you the power to shine forward to whatever awaits tomorrow. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live fearless.
Climb to new heights with Launching Pad's Flight Training Wall. Can you and your friends make it to the top? And then take the leap into our foam pit. All this and so much more, all for one price. Only at Launching Pad in Raleigh.
I fight for every step I take. I want you to come play for me. This is your way out.
All-American. New series Wednesday, October 10th.
Hot Bench, weeknights at 7 on MyRDC 28.
(14-12). Enloe leading Broughton by 2. 3rd and about 16 facing the undefeated Enloe Eagles. After a timeout taken by Enloe, Wortham out of the gun, pressure coming down the middle, has a man, catch to DeAndre Swain, Swain breaking away to the 10, to the 5, touchdown DeAndre Swain, and the Enloe Eagles, 86 yards on 3rd and 16. There's your homecoming hero.
When Swain lined up in the slot, straight down the field, right in the middle, he beat his man, no safety help over the top, and then Swain turning on the Jets. This Enloe offense, they did it on the ground all night. Couple huge passing plays, but Swain stepping up, and how about the throw from Wortham? Spot on, right in stride. This Enloe offense struggling a little bit. Broughton's defense started to get some of that momentum, and then Enloe just took it all there with the big play through the air.
It is a season tinged in gold for the Enloe Eagles. The first offensive touch of the game by DeAndre Swain, as the extra point somehow spins good. And the Enloe Eagles now have a 21-12 lead, a 2-score affair now for the undefeated Enloe Eagles.
And Enloe, it just seems like they've got some magic, something on their side that they always believe, and they always feel like the next play is going to be theirs. They started off with the turnover there, and then Wortham here hitting Swain on the huge play through the air.
Saltwater Seafood scoring summary. All 86 of those yards come on the 3rd and last play of that drive. He wasn't named homecoming king at halftime, but DeAndre Swain has a head start for his senior year of royalty. And a great throw by Jaden Wortham.
I'll tell you, the impressive thing there is Swain with his speed. He got through that Broughton defense, and they knew Enloe was going to throw the ball. They knew they had to play back, but Swain still able to get past them, then come down with the football, connecting with his quarterback.
Right, time now for the Lane & Associates Family Dentistry kickoff. We love to make you smile. 8th margin with the approach. Eagles by 9. It takes 2 scores, and that kickoff clears the head of Codrington and through the end zone. What will be really interesting to find out, we know Ken Blocker was talked out of punting on 4th down a few moments ago. Who made that play call out of that timeout on that 3rd and 16 play?
Boy, I'll tell you, whoever made it did a good job there.
I'll put a mortgage payment on that man making that call. And frankly, I didn't even see Isaiah Jacobs on the field on that formation.
They spread things out 5 wide receivers, but you're right, he wasn't out on the field. But Wortham, though, he doesn't get that many opportunities to throw, and it's tough as a quarterback when you're handing the ball off every play. playing it safe. But when you get your opportunities, you have to make the most of it. And Wortham, he's done that tonight.
First touchdown reception of the year for Swain. Well, now the Capitals have to go to work. Guest throws deep down the right side, broken up, incomplete. Daquan Rogers again shadowing Joachim Clark. He's done this all night long.
He's been outstanding. And now Rogers, he's 6 feet tall, so he's going against these big Broughton wide receivers. But with his height, his agility out the cornerback position, you don't see that often. Somebody as big as Rogers is able to move that quickly. Outstanding in coverage. And looking back for the ball the last minute to knock it away.
Second down and 10. Ball spotted right around the 20-yard line. Guest fires over the middle, has a man, sliding catch is made just past the 30-yard line. Should be good enough for a first down. Davis Clemens cradled it home. And that will move the chains. A Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, first down. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina. First down, Broughton, down by 9. Still plenty of time, inside 9 minutes left in the fourth. Couple of timeouts remaining for the Caps. And they fake jet sweep. Now they throw to the other side. Bobbled and dropped behind the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Trying to line things up with Joachim Clark. It'll bring up second down. Three receivers, bottom of your screen. Light bank goes down again. Play still on. A toss up the right side. And they catch the 35-yard line. And then a double team tackle is made. Clark the reception. Excellent concentration by Gordon Guest and the Capitals, because as that ball was snapped, the lights flipped off for the second time. Same light standard that went down in the first quarter.
And it almost, to me, looks even darker than it did in the first quarter, because now there's no daylight, obviously, but this is definitely going at a disadvantage for Broughton, because they have to throw the ball every play now. It's tough to see, and we talked about even the difficult, even if it just takes 1 second to find it. If you hesitate at all, it's huge.
Well, they toss it out. Belfield had the ball caught and then drilled out of his hands by Bryce Rogers. Incomplete. Fourth down. And with every passing moment, this sold-out crowd for the Eagles believing with even more ardor. Big hit.
And not only has the defensive line and linebackers been physical tonight, when you've got a secondary that's good in coverage but can also be physical in run support or when a wide receiver catches it, it's such a big boost for this defense. And this crowd, the energy on the field, you can see this defense really feeding off of that excitement.
And by the way, the officials got together. They've actually marked that back as a lateral and a fumble out of bounds. So it's a loss of about 5 yards there, fourth down, and about 9 to go, and the punt team does come on for Broughton. And by the way, that light standard is still down. Not even a whisper of a discussion by the officials or the head coaches. If they played through early first quarter, they're playing through now.
Yeah. See right here, Guest throwing the ball just right over the top of Rory, and then Belfield, as soon as he turned upfield, just kind of surprised at Rogers being there, and he put his helmet right on the ball.
And so the call, actually a completed pass and a fumble that goes out of bounds, and now on fourth down they will boot it away. Rogers signals for a fair catch and makes a awkward one right outside the 30-yard line. So 7:53 left fourth quarter. The ball right back to the undefeated Eagles, up by 9. And now, Jay, their forte is running the football, milking some clock, and they can really seize command on a potential 7th win on this possession.
Yeah, this game, it's really fallen into their lap here in the fourth quarter with the time on the clock. They're built for this, running the football. Now, the key here, Coach Blockers told his offense, is protect the football. Broughton is going to go for turnovers here. Anything they can do to knock that ball away. And Enloe, they want to use this clock up, but they want to be physical up front to get those running backs running downhill, but they have to protect the ball.
7:53 is where this possession begins. And it's in the very comfortable hands of Hamilton Moore, but he's angled out of bounds. Moore picks up a couple. Brings up second down for Enloe. Now, one of the stories we've not yet talked about over the couple of games now of Enloe football, but something that I noticed as Swain came to the sideline following that 86-yard touchdown reception, the wide receivers coach for Enloe is Keisha Smith, a women's basketball coach with flag football experience, a wide knowledge of the game of football, who was asked by Ken Blocker when he came to this program, hey, I know you have football in your background. We need somebody who the students looked up to like you. I want you to join my staff. More on that in a moment. And a carry out across the 40 to the 43. That's going to be good enough for a first down for Enloe.
You know, Coach Blocker talked about the respect she has and what she stood for. And the kids want to come out and play their best for her, but they respect her. And anytime you respect somebody, you play your hardest and you don't want to disappoint them.
And there's Keisha Smith right alongside the second-year head coach for the Eagles. And she, like Ken Blocker, a grad of Enloe. She graduated in 1999. And that was, to me, I thought the first person that Swain went up to and chatted with after that long touchdown catch on that 3rd and 16, which right now is the absolute play of the game tonight. Clock at 7:12, and the Enloe Eagles will take a timeout, leading 21-12. And look at Ken Blocker. He wants his entire offensive unit to surround him. They're up by 2 scores. Broughton, which has been relying on pretty sound defense over the course of the year, they need either A, quick stop, or B, they need to make a play and force a turnover.
Well, now you know Enloe's going to run the ball. So if you weren't selling out for the run before, now you definitely do. And the biggest thing is you're not just happy with bringing down a tackle. You've got to have multiple guys going there. Somebody wrap up, and then somebody directly go for the football. And with their timeouts, 2 timeouts, they can still stop the clock a couple times. They're going to have to get the ball back quickly and then be efficient on offense if they want to come back in this game.
Well, we talked about Keisha Smith, the wide receivers coach for Enloe. Aaron Summers has much more on this story. Aaron?
Not only is the wide receivers coach here at Enloe a female, they also have 2 female players. Kicker Layla Morris and defensive lineman Judea Williams. They're both freshmen. Layla actually is a really good soccer player, and the coaches saw her kicking. They recruited her, and Judea actually asked a few games into the season if she could be a part of the team.
And Layla Morris is part of the homecoming court at halftime tonight. First down carry close to midfield. It's about the 48-yard line. The carry by Christopher O'Neill. 2 timeouts remaining for Broughton. Enloe is now out of timeouts, but I beg to say we will not see Wortham put the ball through the air the rest of the night. And there you see one of the 2 female players on this Enloe team, the kicker right there. Second and 5. Hamilton Moore dragged down to the backfield. That'll be for a loss. And now it's going to be curious to see when Chris Dawson, head coach of Broughton, uses his timeouts. Probably still a bit early here. Preserve the 2 if you can, but you need to get your defense off the field on this 3rd down.
That defensive line, they got off the ball quick, shot out there, got low, and that enabled the linebackers to hit the gaps, and that's what they need now. 3rd and 8 here. Still, if you're Enloe, you're not putting this ball in the air. You're going to keep it on the ground. So if I'm Broughton, I'm selling out on the run once again.
And 2 tight ends set. 1 left, 1 right. Full house backfield on 3rd and 8. And this is Moore. Moore runs through a man, tackled forward at the midfield, but still a couple of yards short. And that will bring up 4th down. And I guarantee there will be no convincing of Ken Blocker here by Hamilton Moore or anybody on the Eagles side. The decision he makes will be his. But right now his offense is still on the field. Again, Enloe has no timeouts left, so they will go.
And Broughton has to be careful here about jumping off sides. Enloe could be running up here to try to get them to jump.
4th down, long 2. They will go. And more. Trips and falls in the backfield. A loss of 3. Untouched. Try to make that cut. And for the second time tonight, the Eagles give the ball back on downs inside their own territory. And a look of despair by Ken Blocker.
Well, it's shocked they went for it there, but just shows they've got confidence in the running game. That field, a little bit soft. They just got tripped up, just kind of tripped. They're on the turf. His feet got crossed up. Just his right leg hit his left calf. Now Broughton, good field position, kind of a lucky stand there on 4th down. Now they've got to capitalize quickly.
5:04 left. Drive begins the 47-yard line. Guest, time to throw. Deep, down the middle. Nobody home. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Let's go downstairs to Aaron.
As soon as Enloe running back Hamilton Moore hit the ground, Ken Blocker hit his knees, looked straight into the ground and just stayed there for a while until the rest of the team came off the field. He didn't speak to any of the offensive players, and he finally just now turned around to some of the team to start talking to them, but he needed a few minutes there to collect himself after that 4th down call. It did not go his way.
Well, moment of adversity for a program striving to gain more respectability in the area, in their conference, for a coach who wants it so badly for his players. 2nd and 10. Guest looking downfield, pump fake. Now he'll run forward, cuts to the outside, has the 1st down, loses the football as he goes out of bounds. And they will mark him down at about the 31, so a gain of 17 for Gordon Guest.
Well, and you can see his athleticism, a little cross player, getting outside the pocket, some nice blocks on the outside there. And sometimes as a quarterback, when you're looking downfield, you just kind of feel the presence of the defensive lineman around you. You got to get out, and Guest getting out right at the last time, getting away from Rory.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, 1st down for Broughton, down by 9 with 4:48 to play in the 4th quarter. Guest, time to throw, screens it out, pass thrown a little bit behind. Clark makes the catch, now cuts back to the far side of the field. And had a little bit of help from Belfield getting in the way on a block. That's a pretty good yardage right there. We'll see where they mark him down. This might be enough for a 1st down, and it is. Another 1st down, back-to-back plays.
Now the offensive line up front, releasing on this jailbreak screen, clearing the path, getting downfield. You can see them fighting for the extra yards. And still here, as this clock is not in the favor of the Capitals, they still have time here, though, with the 2 timeouts to throw some underneath routes.
And back inside the Wake 86 at green zone. 1st down from the 19. Sprint out left side. Guest tosses far corner end zone. Running catch. It's made. It's inbounds. And it's a touchdown for Broughton. 19 yards out. Guest hooks up with Clemens. And it's 21-18. 4:19 left 4th quarter. Still 2 timeouts for the Capitals. And another pristine throw on the run by Gordon Guest.
Oh, that's so tough, throwing across your body. Then Clemens running the corner route, getting outside of his man. Great position, perfect throw, getting to the end zone.
And now they will go for the extra point to try and make it a 2-point game, and they do. 21-19, Enloe on top. A 19-yard touchdown reception by Clemens from Guest for the Auto Park Honda touchdown. By Leith Auto Park Honda. 21-19. And boy, you get the slip on 4th down near midfield for Enloe. Then a couple of quick yet conservative pass plays. The scramble certainly played big by Gordon Guest. And then Guest, an excellent throw, connecting with Clemens. Now, Jay, you really give your defense a couple of cracks at getting a defensive stop. You don't have to necessarily start burning timeouts on the 1st, 2nd down opportunity facing your defense.
It's going to be fun to watch here because Broughton is going to sell out to stop the run. Will Enloe throw the ball? Because if they do, there's going to be opportunities down the field. But it's kind of going against the philosophy of running the ball, using the clock up. So we'll see as this drive develops what the opportunities are for both sides and how Broughton attacks these running plays they're going to see.
Time for a very important Lane & Associates Family Dentistry kickoff. We love to make you smile. Enloe 21, Broughton 19. And Broughton does not have its hands team out. This will absolutely be a deep kick. And they will be reliant on their defense to try and get the stand they need. The approach and the kick. End over end, down the middle. Daquan Rogers grabs to the 10. Across the middle, sheds one tackle, gets loose. Penalty marker comes in very late. The return short of the 20. Now a second penalty marker comes out. And that one was thrown in the vicinity of an Enloe player running off the field. There may be a couple of penalties here. John Wright was heading to the sideline, and a second flag from the same official came in right at him. So these might be a pair of penalties on Enloe. What do we say about adversity? Here's more for the Eagles. Battle Whitley being debriefed. Here are the calls. Blocking the back on Enloe. And evidently that's the only one.
Well, there, and yeah. Number 8 was going in there, push at the last moment. We couldn't see where the flag was thrown, a little bit out of the view. Still Enloe, with their backed up, and that pressure on their side, Broughton feeling confident, and they have the momentum even though they're down by 2.
Down by 2, the defense can pin the ears back. This drive for the Eagles begins inside their own 10. Handoff strung far to the right side. Hamilton Moore, not a lot of room to turn that corner. And nudged out of bounds. He'll pick up some yardage outside the 10 to about the Tyree Watson is down. They'll mark him down and around the 11-yard line.
And for Moore getting to the outside, this is where he's so good with the speed, and the Watson leading the way. That little cut back, that's what gave him a couple extra yards, but then it was Watson. Man fell on the back of his legs, and that's so tough when you're blocking. You don't see somebody fall into you, and hopefully he'll be okay here.
But Hamilton Moore, maybe the headline of that play is he went out of bounds and stopped the clock at 3:49. Did pick up about 6. But right now, the clock is the ally of the Eagles.
Christian Perez, number 55, coming in the ball game there. The linebacker going to right guard.
Second and short. Inside handoff. And not a lot of room there. And now we'll see what Chris Dawson does. Will he take a timeout here, or will he play it straight up? Clock stopped at 3:42, and that is just enough for a first down. So they will move the chains. The clock will stop momentarily. So saving those 2 timeouts, Chris Dawson. And this now really becomes that series. So whenever you get a first down stop, assuming you don't give up 7 or 8 yards, as O'Neal is still down, could be a cramp. And it's a very human night. And this is where Chris Dawson's experience of being a high school player at Broughton, a college player at Wofford, and also at Tulane, and an assistant coach at one of the top high school programs in the land over the last few years up in Baltimore, Maryland, where that all comes to fruition. And it is a cramp, certainly, as they're dealing with Christopher O'Neal.
And, you know, in the offseason, during the season, coaches always talk about fourth quarter conditioning, being at your best in the fourth, closing out ball games. And for both of these teams, you know, Broughton, we're talking to their defense, hey guys, this is where we have to have a stand. We need your best here on this drive. And then for Enloe, it's all about winning your one-on-one blocks up front. If you can get a couple first down here, this is your game.
Yep. Ken Blocker's Eagles have been here before, undefeated, 6-0, their best start in over a decade. They have not had a winning season in more than 12 years. As a matter of fact, they've only finished 500 once in the last 12 years. But a 2-point win to begin the season over Triton, a 1-point win over Southern Lee. We had the game a couple of weeks ago, a 7-point win that they held on to beat Sanderson right here. And then a 7-point win over Millbrook last week. So 4 of those 6 wins have been one-score games. They're up by 2 at home. 3:42 to play. Critical first down for the Broughton defense.
Now Enloe opening up here with 3 wide receivers. A little bit shocked here.
Quarterback draw.
Spreading things out. Yeah, I think they're still going to run it here.
Wortham will hand off. Moore straight at the middle with some space. Makes one man miss and takes it over the 35. Held on to the football. He's a little loose in that left arm, but it's a first down carry, a gain of 17.
Oh, great play design here by Ken Blocker with those 3 wide receivers, 1 fullback in the I formation. It took some of those Capital defenders out of the box. Roderick White, the fullback, led the way up the middle. Huge first down.
Or did he? It looked to me like he got a bit of a head start moving forward, but no flag. Blue Cross Blue Shield first down for Enloe. 37-yard line, 3:15 and counting, and Hamilton Moore thrown down for a loss in the backfield. And now I think if you're Chris Dawson, you let the clock roll here.
Yep.
After this play, you burn one of your last 2 timeouts. You can take one after 2nd down, after 3rd down. And if you get that stop, you might get the ball back with 2 minutes or so left.
Well, and not only does Broughton need a stop here, but they need a stop without any yards given up to force 3rd and long situation. Then you can hope maybe that Enloe will throw the ball, incomplete pass, where you don't have to burn that timeout. Still a couple downs here to go, but this Broughton defense needs to stand.
Well, that's how certainly Dawson is thinking. Line to reach is the 48, 2nd and 10. Play fake, throwing down the middle, looking for Swain again. Tipped and incomplete. So it almost still threaded through to the fingertips of DeAndre Swain. Gutsy call, backfires. 3rd and 10.
Coach Blocker being aggressive here. Q Robinson coming off of his man. Jacobs coming over towards Swain. Great recognition, seeing the ball and getting in there to knock it down.
Saves Broughton one of its 2 remaining timeouts. Well, if he throws 2nd and 10, or are you throwing 3rd and 10? I can't imagine. But Ken Blocker has fooled us many times tonight. 3rd and 10. They will throw again. They're looking one more time for Jacobs down the sideline, but it's overshot by 3 yards. And look at that Broughton sideline, jumping up and down. As Broughton just feels like they were gifted 2 free timeouts by 2 incomplete passes. And no chance to go on 4th down. The punt unit is on for Enloe.
Well, Enloe's being aggressive here. 2 passing plays. The tough thing is that's not the strength of their team. It's Hamilton Moore, and now that did save those timeouts. Huge play here on special teams coming up.
Well, we talked about how prolific special teams play has been for Broughton this year, especially Brandon Codrington. And we get a timeout taken by Broughton. There's a benefit of the fact that they didn't have to use either of their 2 on those last couple of plays. But you call one here because Codrington has already blocked a punt today that led to a touchdown for Broughton. They've had a punt block or an extra point block in every regular season game of the season, including tonight. You're designing your best punt block approach. Down by 2, 2:21 to play, 21-19 Enloe. Let's get to our Miller Mott game-changing play of the game, and here it is. That is the 86-yard, 3rd and 16 reception by DeAndre Swain.
And Broughton, they had momentum at this point. They backed up Enloe, and then Swain just turned on the Jets. Wortham, outstanding throw. And this Eagles offense, we talked about them running the ball tonight, but when they had to throw it, they've been able to connect on huge passing plays. Now Broughton, boy, did they step up here on this last drive on those 2 last attempts. But Enloe has really surprised us with their play action pass.
Miller Mott College play of the game. Miller Mott changing futures, changing lives. Kick off your new career with Miller Mott. Here we go on 4th down. Marjan ready to boot it away. Return man for Broughton stands to the 30. Will they come hard on the edge? Yes. And the punt sailed away cleanly. It's returnable. Grab to the 30. Juke right, moving through the middle, and the return to the 42-yard line. No flags. 12-yard return. So Broughton, thanks to Q Robinson, pretty good field position. 1 timeout remaining. Pressure came, but the O-line held up.
And Codrington not out on the field there on that punt attempt. You said it. This is pretty good field position. 1 timeout. Plenty of time here for Broughton for this drive.
Now remember, the extra point missed earlier in the game, late second quarter. They don't kick many field goals, but if they get in range, Chris Dawson said my kicker's probably good from 35-ish. Yeah. 41-yard line is where this drive begins. 1 timeout left. Guest to the right side. Catch at the 46-yard line. Defender falls. Second defender over and slows down Joakim Clark. And that'll be a pickup of 11. It will move the sticks and a Blue Cross Blue Shield first down for the Broughton Caps.
And this Broughton offense, it took them a while to get going and going against a tough Eagles defense, but it kind of seems like when their back's against the wall, when they need it most, they found a way to move the ball.
Inside Eagle territory, design roll out left, gets a block, and look at Rory swat that ball down in the backfield, right into the grill of Gordon Guest.
Second time tonight, Rory's got his hands up, knocked the ball down, but also countless times where he's altered the trajectory of the throws from Guest. But here rolling out towards the left, 2 guys tried to block him, unblockable there, and then swatting it down.
I think he'd look good on Team USA's volleyball side.
Yeah.
Goodness. 2nd and 10. Minute 49 left. A field goal would win it for Broughton. A defensive stance would send Enloe to 7-0. Second down snap. Guest to the right flat. Belfield down the sideline. Knocked out inside the 35. And the clock will stop. And I tell you what, the way that, thanks to the punt return and now a couple of short pass plays from Gordon Guest, the clock may not be a factor here for Broughton's offense. It might be more of a factor for Enloe's defense if they get down into the green zone.
It's amazing how they manage the clock and then throwing these underneath routes. Enloe's defense is backing up, preventing the deep play.
From the 33, they won it all. Back corner of the end zone. No, incomplete. Just shy of the goal line. And I tell you what, Enloe caught a break because one of the Enloe players, they had 12 on the field. One was sprinting toward the sideline as the snap was made, and he was not past the boundary, but no flag. 2nd and 10. 1:32 left. Gordon Guest trying to ruin homecoming for undefeated Enloe. Looking right, swings it back. Haywood through the middle, jukes left, gets past one, and tumbles forward. He's inside the 15-yard line. First down, Broughton, with 1:22 left.
And this offensive line getting out in the open field, clearing out a path, and they're really feeling it now. These underneath routes, these screen plays, doing a good job setting it up for the wide receivers.
Clock rolling, 1:18 and counting. Inside the green zone, fire into the end zone. Guess it's loose, and it is intercepted in the end zone by Enloe. Daquan Rogers stepped in front of the receiver, intercepts the pass, and the Enloe Eagles' magical undefeated season is going to live for another week.
And look at this coverage by Rogers. Guest throwing the ball up, letting his wide receiver try to win it, but Rogers just boxing him out and then going up and getting it. And the ability to focus on it when a man's draped all over you with the big play, with the pressure on your defense to step up, and Rogers making the play. Boy, this Eagles defense, they were bending, but coming up with the big play, now putting the ball in the offense's hands.
First down carry. Hamilton Moore to the right side, thought about going out of bounds and then slowed it down and stays away from the sideline. Smart play by Hamilton Moore. Inside of a minute. 21-19 Enloe. Broughton still with that one timeout left, but virtually no hope. Clock still moving, 37 seconds left. Wortham doing a great job managing time. One timeout left, and it will be taken now by Broughton. And now, do you think they wish they still had that timeout they used when they finally moved inside Enloe territory a couple of plays prior to that interception? Well, they can't stop the clock anymore. Broughton coaching staff walking onto the field. 22 seconds left. Boy, you're going to see the look of exasperation on the face of Chris Dawson, head coach at Broughton. But Aaron Summers talked about this as we came on the air. You know, the right guys for these programs. Both alums of their respective schools. Chris Dawson from Broughton and Blocker from here in Enloe. They have the support. They have the faith and supports of their athletic administration, from the administrators, from the students, from the community, and from the players. I mean, they believe, and these are two teams that simply have been afterthoughts inside the Cap 7 for years and years. No more. But one more tight home stand for Ken Blocker's Enloe Eagles. They wrap up their regular season at Cardinal Gibbons. They have 2 more games in between. Southeastern Raleigh and Leesville Road. And the clock winding down. Handshakes begin. And the Enloe Eagles, off to their best start in now almost 2 decades, survive on homecoming on the interception in the end zone by Daquan Rogers. Let the homecoming party begin. The Eagles are 7-0. Great respect for these two programs. Ken Blocker, Chris Dawson. This is the first of this is a different kind of rivalry now between these two teams. No longer doormats in the conference. And right now, Broughton gave Enloe all it could handle. But the Enloe Eagles get to 7-0, and their charmed, magical run here in 2018 continues. Enloe over Broughton 21-19. We'll come back with the on-field celebration and more when we return. Friday night rivals living up to its name. Enloe over Broughton 21-19.
I'm a student athlete, which means I'm still learning.
I'm still growing.
I'm getting important lessons about perseverance, teamwork,
determination, respect, and dedication through playing sports at my school.
Mom, Dad, Coach, in a few years,
I'll probably forget a lot of the details, but I won't forget the lessons I learned.
From the way you act towards my teammates,
coaches, referees, and other fans.
What kind of lesson do you want me to learn? I'm watching.
Sportsmanship, together we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at HendrickChevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Saltwater Seafood has the freshest seafood in town and the best customer service.
Saltwater has the freshest seafood in town and the best staff.
Saltwater gets their fish fresh every morning.
Hey, Dante.
Check out the catch of the day at saltwaterseafoodnc.com and join our mailing list for weekly specials. Our fresh fish come daily from the North Carolina coast, and we're open every day but Monday.
I love their fresh fish right here at Saltwater.
America's Court with Judge Ross.
All rise.
You want him to pay $628?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off.
Daytime Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
Pay her money. Pay it now.
Judge Ross is back with all new cases.
Prove your case.
Before I broke out the window.
Stop.
And the same attitude.
I'm confused. Unconfuse me.
America's Court with Judge Ross.
Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
New episodes coming this fall.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at HendrickChevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
The Enloe Eagles continue their run as the talk of the triangle. 7-0. Aaron Summers is once again with a celebratory head coach, Ken Blocker. Aaron?
Coach, these games have come down to the very end. They've been close for several of the wins. Tonight, it was Daquan Rogers with the interception in the end zone. How do you always have the answer?
Well, I think last week what I said was teams are going to have to play us tough because we're not going to quit. So it's not so much an answer, it's just a drive. So what these young men have done is realize that they have to lay it on the line, because what you don't want to do is have plays where you're thinking, what could have happened? So at that point in time, Daquan Rogers put it on the line. He knew we needed a big play to seal the game. I mean, it was tough. Broughton played us tough. We knew it was going to be hard. It was hard last year. So, I mean, right now these guys know every game is a playoff game to us. So that's the type of atmosphere we had, a sold-out crowd. So just leave it all on the line, and they did.
I heard the student section chanting football school. How is this team making Enloe a football school?
Well, I mean, we were just talking about with Dr. Chavis, who's the principal of the year, about the trifecta, which is academics, arts, and athletics. So now the athletics are starting to catch up. I mean, our fall sports are doing a great job. Luckily, football's holding in there. We got to match our soccer team, which I think is like #2 in the state or something like that. So, I mean, it's a good feel, you know what I mean? But like I said before, it comes down to these young men that put the work in the summertime, and now they see that it's paying off.
Coach, 7-0. You get a second Friday Night Rivals trophy. Congratulations.
They could get used to this. And Jason Halter, as we wrap things up, there's a sense of pride and celebration from the students, from the alumni who've come back on homecoming. I saw a number of sweatshirts with Enloe and then the year in which they graduated. There are people here who never dreamed this would ever become a reality at their school at Enloe. It's happening right in front of our eyes.
And this is why high school football is the best. It's the most fun, it's the most innocent, because it brings the whole community together. And when a team has belief, confidence, and the will to get something done, it brings everybody together. This was an outstanding ball game. Broughton was great tonight. Both of these teams looked down and out at certain points. They found a way to fight back, but Enloe made the biggest play at the right moment, and that's why they're celebrating now.
And cementing memories for a lifetime. Enloe over Broughton 21-19. They move to 7-0 and 3-0 and on top of the Cab 7. All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful folks at Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, My Computer Career, Oxner Pirmar, and Hendrick Chevrolet, who make these games possible for all of you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great supporters for their contributions to our Friday Night Rivals telecast. Wake 86 Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, the U.S. Marines, Miller Mott College, Auto Park Honda, and Saltwater Seafood. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for all of their great support. Next week, Roseville and Knightdale. Final score from Enloe, 21-19. The Eagles remain undefeated. Good night from Raleigh.